Chapter 557. What do you think we should do? His sister asked. Let's wait for a couple of days. I'll think of another way to take our father to the provincial capital. Anyway, we have to hide it from our father, Wang Ziqing said. He had already thought of this method. That's it. Dad must be angry because of you, his sister said angrily. Yes, it's all my fault, Wang Ziqing said. He did not have the slightest evasiveness or refutation. He also knew that he could not get away with his father's condition. He regretted what he had been like before. His sister sighed and wiped her tears. The two of them went into the house. In this situation, no matter how angry they were, it was useless to blame him. Even if they beat him or scolded him, they could not change the fact that the old man was sick. The most important thing was to let the old man live happily every day of his life. What did you say outside? You are so mysterious, Wang Ziqing's brother-in-law said. Nothing, Wang Ziqing's sister said angrily. The old man was very happy that day. He even drank a small glass of wine. Dad, if you are not feeling well, you should drink less wine, his daughter advised. It's okay. Just a small glass. Since he felt unwell, the old man had stopped drinking. His son was not as filial as he was now. He was not in the mood to drink. Today, he was happy, so he made an exception and poured a glass. Okay, drink a glass. Wang Ziqing did not stop him. He had asked Wang Yao before. When it is appropriate, eat and drink when you want to. The mood is the most important thing. This was Wang Yao's answer. Today was the happiest day for the old man in years. Thousands of miles away in Dali, the apprentice of the king pharmacist had brought the medicine his master needed. It was 3 black jars. The jars were sealed with oil paper. It looked like the jars used to store oil or pickles at home. Master, I brought the medicine. Okay. Take off the gauze on his body, the king pharmacist said. The people of the Han family carefully took off the gauze on Lao Si's body. Take it all off? Take it all off. Jian, you do it. Seeing that they were taking a long time to take it off, the king pharmacist was impatient. Yes, master. Naturally, he got the hang of it much faster. When he was removing the gauze, the medicine king had already opened the seal on the first jar. In an instant, a pungent smell of medicine rushed out. There was a light green medicine inside, sticky like honey. The king pharmacist held the big jar with one hand and quickly applied the medicine on the patient with the other. At first glance, he looked like a bricklayer pasting a wall. But after a closer look, one would find that the king pharmacist was quite skilled. The medicine on the patient's body quickly penetrated into the patient's body and did not drip on the bed at all. Turn over. His disciple immediately turned the patient's body over and laid him on his side. The king pharmacist held the jar in one hand while his other hand moved quickly. In a short time, he had touched every part of the patient's body. Then, he quickly sealed the jar and opened the second jar. There was also medicine in the second jar, but it was more sticky. It was like an ointment and was dark green in color. He repeated the previous action. He started from the head and covered the place where the medicine had been applied. He covered it evenly, as if he had calculated. This time, he was a little slower than the first time. It was the first time that the people in the room had seen a treatment like this. They had never even heard of it before, let alone seen it. They just stared at it and did not even dare to breathe. The room was filled with the pungent smell of medicine. The second time was twice as long as the first time. When the medicine was applied all over the patient's body was dark green. At this time, the king pharmacist opened the third jar. This time, there was a dark yellow powder in the jar. He spread it evenly on the patient's body. The powder was very light. The king pharmacist did not know what method he used when applying the medicine, but the powder did not float out at all. Wrap it up. After he finished, he said. Ah! The Han family came back to their senses and was about to do it. Not you. Ah Cheng, you do it. Yes, master. The man named Ah Cheng quickly wrapped the patient's body with gauze. After doing all this, the king pharmacist went out and washed his hands and arms several times. After the treatment, the king pharmacist and his disciple went back directly. Han Xing and the others did not dare to ask anything. They immediately arranged a car. Bring him to the bamboo building in 7 days, the king pharmacist said before leaving. At the same time, he took the 3 decoctions left by Wang Yao. Yes, master, Han Xing immediately replied. After getting in the car, the master and disciple did not talk. The king pharmacist closed his eyes and rested. No one knew what he was thinking. When they returned to the village in the jungle, the sky was completely dark. This is your reward, Han Xing said. Because they did not know how much the king pharmacist's treatment fee was, the Han family prepared a box full of cash. It was as much as 1 million yuan. No need. The king pharmacist did not even look at it. The disciple next to him blocked it. Ah, this. The Han family was shocked. They thought the king pharmacist thought it was too little. Master said no, so no. You can go back, Ah Cheng said. The Han family had no choice but to go back in confusion. Master, the meal is ready. After entering the bamboo building, Ah Cheng quickly prepared the meal for his master. Let's eat together. The king pharmacist was very kind to his disciple. After the meal, he took out the 3 porcelain bottles that he had brought from the Han family and studied them carefully. Ah Cheng, what do you think of these 3 decoctions? He pointed at the 3 decoctions from the Han family. Yes. Ah Cheng carefully examined the decoctions one by one like his master. Well, the first decoction has glossy Ganoderma. I don't know about the other herbs. The second decoction has a lot of ingredient. It has red petrolatum, yellow pill powder. Ah Cheng tasted the 3 decoctions and said the 3 ingredient. This one is warm and nourishing. It should be good for the body. This ointment should be used to grow muscles. As for this one, I don't know. The Han family had told him about the effects of the 3 decoctions, but the 3 porcelain bottles were the same. Ah Cheng knew his master's temper. He would say whatever he wanted. The Han family said it was used to detoxify the poison, the king pharmacist said. The other decoction should be used to detoxify the poison. I can't figure it out. Ah Cheng was silent after hearing that. The person who can make these 3 decoctions is amazing, the king pharmacist said. Ah Cheng was surprised. His master rarely praised people like that. Why did that kind of poison appear again? The king pharmacist asked. He had seen this kind of strange poison more than once. In the Han family's house in Dali. The Han family's eldest brother and second brother looked at their youngest brother lying in the hospital bed. They saw his breathing was much more stable. They thought it would not be a big problem for the king pharmacist. After a while, Han Zhigao came back. Eldest brother, second brother, the king pharmacist did not give you a penny. What? The 2 brothers were shocked. Is it not enough? I don't think so, Han Zhigao said. Forget it. We have to find a way to send our youngest brother to the bamboo building in 7 days. Can our youngest brother handle the long journey? This was what Han Zhigao was worried about. Try to find a better car. There is no other way. The king pharmacist has already given us a lot of face by visiting us. Okay. In Jing, Wang Yao called Wu Tongxing early in the morning and told him he had arrived in Jing. He asked him to get ready to see Wu Tongxing that day. Wu Tongxing's location was different. He needed someone to show him the way. Hello, Dr. Wang. The person who came to pick up Wang Yao was the secretary who met Wang Yao in Lianshan County. Hello. Soon, Wang Yao arrived at Wu Tongxing's house. He saw Wu Tongxing lying in the hospital bed. Hello, Dr. Wang. After hearing the news, Wu Tongxing hurried back as fast as he could and waited at home. Hello. The old man also said hello to Wang Yao. He was already quite strong. Wang Yao took a look at him. The disease went deep into his organs. Many of his organs were damaged. Although Wang Yao had treated him with medicine last time, it did not have a fundamental effect. Chapter 558. This is the medicine. It's the same as last time. Are you using the prescription I gave you? Yes, we have been using it all the time, Wu Tongrong said. Last time, before Wang Yao left, he had prescribed some warm and nourishing medicine to nourish the old man's body. The Wu family had been using this medicine all the time. Use the medicine. After giving the old man the medicine, Wang Yao took out a needle and gave the old man acupuncture. He was very slow and seemed to be far away from the position of the centrifugal lung. The health care doctor of the Wu family quietly stayed and watched. As a health care doctor for the old man with extraordinary status, his medical skills were naturally extraordinary. He was proficient in both Chinese and Western medicine. This acupuncture method could promote the circulation of qi and blood and accelerate the absorption of medicine. Second, it could stimulate the patient's own potential. However, the old man was like firewood that was about to burn out. He did not have much potential. The dead wood could sprout again in spring. No matter how hard the charcoal regenerated, it could not do anything. Let him have a rest. He was not in a hurry to leave. Is my father's health better? Wu Tongrong asked. In fact, before Wang Yao came, he had asked Dr. Chen and Dr. Li to check his father's health. His father's health was the same as before. It was slightly better. That was all. It's a little better than the last time I was here. In this situation, a little better was just a comfort. After half an hour, Wang Yao diagnosed the old man again. There is no big problem. Take the medicine on time. Then, he left the Wu family's house. Chen Ying's car was waiting outside. She took Wang Yao directly to his second aunt's house. Second aunt. Yao, why didn't you tell me in advance that you came to Jing? She was very happy to see her nephew. At noon, she insisted that Wang Yao stay for lunch at home. No, I have an appointment with a friend. We will eat outside, Wang Yao said. Oh, what about tonight? I won't come over tonight. By the way, my sister is going to take the college entrance examination this year. How is the preparation? She's still the same. Her studies aren't good either, said Wang Yao's second aunt. At first, Wang Yao's second uncle's husband was in Beijing because he was a soldier here. After he retired from the army, he found a job here. Then, he spent a lot of effort to bring Wang Yao's second aunt and cousin to Beijing and bought a house here. What was his purpose? It was to create better conditions for his children. The first thing he wanted to do was to improve the education conditions. However, Wang Yao's cousin didn't seem to be very hardworking. Her academic performance had always been poor. With her current level of academic performance, it would be a miracle if she could get into an ordinary university. If your sister were half as capable as you, I wouldn't have to worry so much, said Wang Yao's second aunt. Given Wang Yao's academic standards back then, if he had been in Beijing, he would have been able to get into one of the top 2 universities in the country. You don't have to worry too much. AI. After staying at his second aunt's house for a while, Wang Yao left. He had other things to do today. He had to visit Chen Ying's brother in the afternoon. His cousin is going to take the college entrance examination this year. Chen Ying remembered this news. Let's find a place to eat. It's my treat, Wang Yao said. Okay. In Beijing, there were many people, buildings, and restaurants. There were all kinds of cuisines, Chinese, Western, traditional, and creative. There were only things one could think of. Chen Ying knew Wang Yao's character quite well. She took him to an authentic Chinese restaurant. It was Anhui cuisine. Wang Yao had never eaten it before. Steamed stone chicken, Wenjing shan bamboo shoots, double-fried skewers, shiitake mushroom chestnut. The chef's skills were very good. The taste of the dishes was also very good. The food in Beijing is really top-notch, Wang Yao said. Sir, if you like, there are many restaurants like this in Beijing, said Qining with a smile. Wang Yao just smiled after hearing that. It was okay to come to such a place once or twice occasionally. However, if he came here often, he would forget about it. After lunch, they went straight to the rehabilitation center. At this time, Chen Zhou was still awake. He had been awake for a long time. In fact, according to the rehabilitation center's idea, he could even be discharged. It was he who asked to stay here for a period of observation. If there were any accidents, it would only add more trouble and burden to his sister. Sister. Yes. Hello, sir. He addressed Wang Yao as Mr. as his sister to show respect. Hello, how have you been feeling recently? Pretty good. Is there any discomfort in your head? Does it hurt? Do you have any hallucinations? No. Chen Zhou shook his head. Since he returned to the rehabilitation center after the Spring Festival, his body was very healthy. There were no abnormalities. How about at night? Do you have any dreams? I have a lot of dreams recently, said Chen Zhou after thinking for a moment. What kind of dreams? Wang Yao asked. Well, it's very messy. There are dreams of being with my sister when I was young, and some dreams of being in the martial arts world, said Chen Zhou. Wang Yao was silent for a moment. He still couldn't find the reason. I brought the decoction. Take him out, said Wang Yao to Qining. Okay, I'll arrange it right away, said Qining. They took Chen Zhou out of the rehabilitation center and returned to the small courtyard. After taking the decoction, Wang Yao carefully observed the changes in Chen Zhou's body, mainly the changes in the meridians in his head. He wanted to see if the meridians would be dislocated like last time. As expected. In a short period of time, that didn't happen. It was calm as usual. No problem. After taking the decoction, Wang Yao was sure that Chen Zhou wouldn't fall ill for a month. A month. Qining was very happy to hear the news. Yes, a month. In about 20 days, you can take him to the mountain village and give him the decoction. You don't have to take him back, Wang Yao said. Okay, thank you, sir, said Qining happily. By the way, Madam already knows you are coming, said Wang Yao. Okay, I'll go to Su Xiaoshue's house in the afternoon, Wang Yao said. Su Xiaoshue was very happy to see Wang Yao. She was like a flower in full bloom. Hello, sir. Hello, Wang Yao said. He felt enthusiasm and youth from this girl, as well as a special sense of intimacy. When did you come? Yesterday. How long are you going to stay in Jing? Asked Su Xiaoshue. About 4 days, said Wang Yao with a smile. Song Ruiping didn't say anything. She just sat quietly next to Su Xiaoshue and watched the conversation between her daughter and Wang Yao with a smile. Sir, the nashi in my body has become stronger recently, said Su Xiaoshue. I can feel it, said Wang Yao. This was probably the reason why he had a special sense of intimacy with Su Xiaoshue. The nashi in her body was originally injected by him. Then, it slowly grew stronger because of a coincidence. Chapter 559. Wang Yao didn't stay at the Su family's house for too long because Su Xiaoshue had fully recovered. She seemed to want to leave the house and see the outside world. She seemed to be particularly interested in the mountain village where he lived and the clinic he opened. The problem was that Wang Yao hadn't thought about it for the time being. Mr. Wang promised me, Su Xiaoshue said. He did promise, but he didn't mention the specific time. After leaving the Su family's house, Wang Yao asked Qining, who was next to him, Has Miss Su been going out a lot recently? Yes, she has been going out a lot, Qining said with a smile. Qining said with a smile. It seems to be a kind of compensation for being bedridden for the past few years. She has visited almost all the interesting places around the capital and Tianjin, Qining said. During this period of time, she had accompanied the princess of the Su family to many places. I understand, Wang Yao said. If it were him who had been lying in bed for several years and had recovered, he would have traveled around the world instead of staying at home and sighing about the changes in life and the love of God. She wants to go to Mr. Wang's place. Let's leave it to fate, Wang Yao said. Since he had come, seen her, cured her illness, left a trace of Nashi in her body, and taught her a passage of scripture, it was fate. If she wanted to go, she could go. That afternoon, Chen Zhou was picked up by Chen Ying from the treatment center. At this time, he was still conscious. Chen Ying believed that Wang Yao's decoction could keep her awake for a month. Chen Ying had no doubt about that. Thank you, Mr. Wang, Chen Zhou said. Chen Zhou said very respectfully. The reason why he could recover to his current state was all because of this young man in front of him. Thank your sister well, Wang Yao said. I won't stay here tonight. I'll go out for a walk. How can that be? Chen Ying asked. Yes, I can go out and stay. It's okay. The night is good. I can walk around. Wang Yao smiled and waved his hand. Jing was very big. There were many places to stay. Wang Yao didn't even eat dinner in the courtyard. He went out alone and wandered around. The night in the capital was more colorful than the day. Wang Yao wandered around aimlessly. As he strolled around, he felt that it was getting late, so he found a hotel to stay in. Just like that, the night passed. The next morning. What? Not here? Early in the morning, Chen Zhouchuan heard that Wang Yao was in Beijing and went to Su Xiaoshua's house. Yes, Elder Chen, Chen Ying said. Where did he go? I'm not sure about that. When Sir left last night, he said that he wanted to walk around and see the night view of Beijing, Chen Ying said honestly. What's there to see at night in Beijing? The old man asked. He saw the bright-eyed youth in the courtyard. Your younger brother? Yes. Has he recovered? The old man asked. He knew about the youth's illness, but he didn't treat him personally because Chen Ying didn't come to him. He was a bit reserved. He felt that he shouldn't lower himself to take the initiative to treat a junior. Sir has treated him. He should be fine within a month, Chen Ying said. That's good. That's good. What do you want to see, sir? Nothing. The old man waved his hand. I heard that he was here and wanted to have a chat with him. You two can have a good time together. I won't disturb you. Take care. Go back. Chen Zhouchuan smiled and waved his hand. He then left. Sis, who is this old man? Chen Zhou asked after Chen Zhouchuan had walked away. He's a Chinese medicine practitioner, Chen Ying said. Chinese medicine practitioner? Is he very good? Of course. He's an expert in the red wall, Chen Ying said. I also wanted to ask him to treat you, but I didn't ask. Sorry to trouble you, Chen Zhou said. Although he had been in the hospital for the past few years, he had been constantly receiving knowledge and learning while he was awake. He had a rough idea about the identity of the old man his sister was talking about. Over the years, his sister had worried a lot about him. Sis, thank you, Chen Zhou said sincerely. Silly boy, you don't have to say this to me. As long as you are well, I will do anything. Chen Ying smiled. There were tears in her eyes. In the Wu family's house. Continue to give him the decoction, Wang Yao said. Okay. After taking the decoction, Wang Yao gave the old man acupuncture again. It was still the same meridians and acupoints as last time. It was the same function. Add oil, add firewood, and sew the holes. This was what Wang Yao was doing now. However, he was not an immortal, and for the time being, he could not brew a medicine that could really cure this terminal illness. Moreover, the old man was already old, and this was the biggest problem. Humans were like firewood, burning, and there would be a day when they would burn out. This was the law of nature. If he was a little younger, and his body's origin was a little stronger, he could choose to use a stronger medicine, and perhaps the effect would be better. However, he could not do so now. He could only use gentle means to treat, otherwise the condition might take a turn for the worse. How long the old man could hold on was up to Wang Yao and the old man. It depended on how long he wanted to live. It was also how strong the old man's will to live was. After the treatment, Wang Yao and Wu Tongxing said a few words and then left. Cough, cough, cough. The old man lying on the hospital bed suddenly coughed. The health care doctor waiting at the side immediately went to work. Soon, the old man calmed down. Tongxing. Dad. Where is your brother? He hasn't come back yet. When he comes back, ask him to come to see me. I have something to tell you. Okay, you should take a rest first, Wu Tongxing said. The old man nodded and lay on the bed, but he didn't close his eyes. He could feel that he didn't have much time left. If it weren't for this young man, he might have already gone to another world. That would be good too. He could see his wife, the old chief, and his old friends, instead of living like this, suffering and suffering. Before that, he still had something to say to his child. He was still a little worried. After leaving the Wu family, Wang Yao went directly to the Temple of Heaven after lunch. He had been there once yesterday. This was the place where the Ming and Qing dynasties used to worship. In the afternoon, there were still many guests. Wang Yao stood there quietly for a long time. Yesterday, he had felt that the qi here was different from other places. It was an indescribable, mysterious feeling. Perhaps he stood in one place for a long time, or his behavior was too different from the tourists around him. Many people noticed him. Hey, look, what is that guy doing there? He is feeling it. This is a place to worship God. Oh, I saw such a person last time, but the result was, what happened? He was sent to the hospital. Nonsense. Wang Yao slowly opened his eyes and looked around. With these people around, there were some things that he couldn't do freely. Unfortunately, there are too many people. Then, he left. He left? Yes. After leaving the Temple of Heaven, he went to the Temple of Earth. It was the same mysterious feeling, but it was slightly different from when he was in the Temple of Heaven. There were fewer people here. Wang Yao also stood in one place for a long time with his eyes closed. Then, he left. The sky gradually darkened. In an old restaurant there were a few dishes. It was a simple meal. Under the night sky, Jing was more prosperous. The Temple of Heaven had been closed for a long time. At this moment, it stood there quietly, like an old man who had experienced the baptism of thousands of years. It was a little late. Suddenly, a man came there. He stood quietly under the night sky. This person was none other than Wang Yao. At this time, except for the people on patrol, no one was there. Wang Yao stood there quietly, feeling the qi between heaven and earth. Whoosh! A gust of wind blew. Hiss! Whoosh! Click! A light shone on the passerby. Then, a night patrol came. Hiss! That's strange. I saw a figure here just now. He held a hand lamp in one hand and an electric baton in the other. His body was slightly trembling. He did see a person standing on the Temple of Heaven. When he got closer, he did not see anyone. I saw a ghost. Ghost. At the mention of this word, his whole body trembled. What was this place? It was the royal palace of the Ming and Qing dynasties. It was also a place to worship God. It could also be understood as a place to communicate with ghosts and gods. Chapter 560. He had been working here for several years, and he had heard many strange stories about the ancient palaces. Among them, the Forbidden City was the most famous. People saw shadows on the walls when it rained, and when there was no one at night, they heard laughter coming from the palaces. There were also legends about the Temple of Heaven. My eyes must be playing tricks on me. The man was about to go back with a flashlight. Subconsciously, he raised his head to take a look. Where is my God? He was stunned. There was a man standing at the top of the hall of prayer. The moonlight shone from the sky and fell on the man's body. He seemed to emit a faint glow. He was like a god. Thud. The man knelt on the ground. Amit Ba, Amit Ba. Wang Yao stood at the top of the hall of prayer. He had a strange feeling. Standing there, the breath between heaven and earth was extraordinarily lively. It was as if he could reach the sky if he reached out. The moonlight and starlight fell from the sky like water, and it had a baptismal effect on him. He was changing and sublimating. It was an indescribable feeling. Suddenly, a sound pulled him out of this state. What a pity! He sighed to himself. Looking in the direction of the sound, he saw a light and a figure lying on the ground. I scared him. Wang Yao jumped and landed on the other side of the hall of prayer. The man kneeling on the ground didn't dare to look up or get up. When he got up again, he found that there was no one on the top of the hall of prayer. Although his education was not high, his work over the years had made him memorize the parameters of the main buildings in the area under his jurisdiction. The height of the hall of prayer was 38 meters. No one could reach the top of the building without the help of professional tools. Unless he was not human. Then what could it be? He broke out in cold sweat. After leaving the Temple of Heaven, Wang Yao was not in a hurry to go back. Instead, he went to the Temple of Earth. He wanted to try again and see if he could have the same adventure as before. However, he didn't have the same feeling this time. What a pity! He knew that this kind of opportunity was hard to come by. The last time he had it was at the Great Wall. This time, it was at the Temple of Heaven. He didn't know where he would have to wait for the next time. Let's go back. They went back to the hotel. The night passed uneventfully. The next day, the full-time security guard who had worked at the Temple of Heaven for 7 years resigned. Why? For such a dedicated employee, the relevant departments wanted to retain him. I saw a god or a ghost, he said. No matter what, he felt that he shouldn't continue to stay here. He was afraid that he would lose his life one day. The next day, Wang Yao went to the Wu family again and received the same treatment. That's all. I'll leave in the afternoon. Okay. The Wu family didn't say anything else this time. Aren't you going to tell the young lady yourself? Chen Ying asked with a smile after hearing that Wang Yao was leaving. There's no need for that, Wang Yao said. I think she might be very upset. In the afternoon, Chen Ying and Chen Zhou came to the airport to see him off. Just as he was getting on the plane, a visitor came to the small courtyard where he usually lived. Su Xiaoxue was here. He's not here. Seeing the locked wooden door, she was slightly disappointed. Give Sister Ying a call. After seeing the phone number, Chen Ying smiled and said to her brother, what did I say? What? Sir left? When did he leave? After hearing the news, Su Xiaoxue was very disappointed. Just now, Chen Ying said. Why didn't he tell me? Sir specifically told me that he didn't want to disturb other people. I'm sorry, Chen Ying said. Forget it. Su Xiaoxue hung up the phone. Miss, where are we going? The middle-aged woman next to her asked. We're not going anywhere. Let's go home. At that moment, she was no longer interested. Okay. On the way back, they met a young man who was as bright as the sun. After seeing her, Guo Jinghe smiled and asked, Xiaoxue, I was going to your house to see you. Where have you been? I went out for a walk. Su Xiaoxue was not in the mood to talk to him. She didn't like this man. Sir, why did you leave without saying goodbye? Was it because I was too noisy and annoying? She was thinking about these things at that moment. Noticing that Su Xiaoxue seemed to be in a bad mood, he didn't continue to talk. Instead, he quietly accompanied her all the way back home. Zhenghe? Song Ruiping was a little surprised to see Guo Jinghe. This young man is really attentive. He has been coming a little too frequently these days. His thoughts about his daughter were blatant. Mom, Jinghe, I'm a little tired. I'll go back to my room first. Okay. Have a good rest. This time, Su Xiaoxue didn't accompany the guest who often visited her in the living room as usual. Instead, she went back to her room and sat in front of the window, looking at the wind outside in a daze. After staying at Su Xiaoxue's house for a short while, Guo Jinghe said goodbye and left. This child has changed, Song Ruiping said with a sigh. What's wrong with Xiaoxue? Because Guo Jinghe was there were some things that she didn't ask. Dr. Wang is not in that small courtyard. He has left by plane, the woman who accompanied Su Xiaoxue out said. Chen Ying is not there either? Yes, she is at the airport to see Dr. Wang off, the woman said. Song Ruiping nodded after hearing that. I see. She then got up and went to her daughter's room. She found that her daughter was lost in thought while looking outside. After hearing the sound, she came back to her senses and said, Mom? Song Ruiping came to her daughter's side and sat down. She asked softly, What are you thinking about? Mom, do you think I am a little annoying? Su Xiaoxue asked. How could that be? Song Ruiping hurriedly replied. My daughter is so well-behaved and beautiful, like a fairy or an elf. She will only be liked, not annoying, Song Ruiping said with a smile. But I don't think so. Do you want to go out to play in Jing? Song Ruiping asked tentatively. She knew that her daughter wanted to go out to explore places, so she was willing to let her go. After all, she had been lying in bed for years. It was good that she didn't break down. Song Ruiping had asked some people about her daughter's situation. It was normal for her to have emotional fluctuations. After lying in bed for so long and suffering from such a disease, it was very rare that she didn't break down or go crazy. After a while, she would return to normal. During this time, it was very necessary to walk around and meet more people. Yes. Where do you want to go? I will go with you, Song Ruiping said. Sanqing Mountain, Longhu Mountain, and Wudong Mountain. Su Xiaoxue named 3 places at once. Song Ruiping was stunned. These 3 places seemed to be related to Taoism. They were famous Taoist mountains. In fact, the place Su Xiaoxue wanted to go most was not there. She wanted to go to the ordinary small mountain village. Perhaps because she had read too much Taoist scriptures, she wanted to go to the second place. Okay, I will go with you, Song Ruiping said with a smile. He took a plane to hike in the afternoon. It was already night when he arrived in hike. After getting off the plane, he found that there were several missed calls from Professor Liu. He called several times in a row. He called Professor Liu back. Professor Liu was very anxious. It was because Wenwan's health suddenly became very poor. Is she still taking care of her mother? Yes, she has been taking care of her. Professor Liu was very anxious. He tried to persuade Wenwan, but she didn't listen. Wenwan's brother and sister tried to persuade her, but she didn't stop. She just stayed by her mother's side. After a long time, even a normal person's body couldn't bear it, let alone a weak woman who was seriously ill. Where is the 9 herbs pill? It has been used up, Professor Liu said. In the beginning, the 9 herbs pill was effective for Wenwan. In the past 2 days, he found that Wenwan's complexion was getting worse and worse, so he was very anxious. He directly got angry with Wenwan yesterday. Do you want to die before me? Do you want me to send you off? This was what he said to Wenwan in the morning. Wenwan's family was also unhappy. They definitely didn't want to lose their mother and another family member. So, Wenwan finally agreed to receive treatment. However, after a checkup at the hospital, her body was already weak. Chapter 561. Her condition is worse than your mother's, the doctor said. Such a person is not suitable to accompany a patient. She needs someone to take care of her. How can she take care of others? Wenwan finally returned home from the hospital. As soon as she returned home, she couldn't take it anymore and collapsed on the hospital bed. When she was in the hospital, she was holding on to her last breath. When she returned home, her last breath dissipated and she collapsed. Therefore, not long after she returned from the hospital, she was sent back to the hospital by her family. Coincidentally, the doctor knew her. He felt angry and pitiful. Hey, what should I say to you? She was sick. The next thing to do was to treat her. Her illness was really like what the doctor said. It was like a landslide. As soon as she was hospitalized, she was sent to the intensive care ward. It was an emergency. Professor Liu was very anxious when he heard the news. He hurriedly called Wang Yao, but Wang Yao was on the plane at that time. He could not get through, which made him very angry. Finally, he got a call from Wang Yao. "Can you come and see her?" "I'm sorry," Wang Yao said. Even the merciful Guan Yin Bodhisattva could not come at any time. Moreover, Wang Yao had already warned her. If she did not listen to him, she would suffer the consequences. This. Professor Liu was very anxious because when Wan's condition was really critical. "I'm begging you. I'm sorry. Friendship was friendship. Friends were friends. Things were not things." "Then what should we do?" "Ask the doctor there. If there is nothing else, I'll hang up first." After that, Wang Yao hung up the phone. Dragging a sick body to take care of sick parents sounded very filial, but in fact, this was an extreme. Take Wan, for example. She had done her part of filial piety, but if she died of illness before her mother, what would happen? What would happen if her mother heard the news? Would she die of illness because she couldn't bear such a blow? Wang Yao was not in a hurry to go back. Instead, he found a place to stay and hike for the night. He went back by car the next morning. In the morning, when he returned home, the elders from the same village were chatting with his parents. "Dad, Mom, I'm back, Uncle. AI. Take a break. Are you tired?" Zhang Xiuying asked with concern. "I'm not tired. I arrived in Hike last night and stayed there for a night," Wang Yao said. "Have you gone out?" the elder in the village asked with a smile. "Hey, I've been away for a while. You guys talk first." After saying that, Wang Yao entered the house. "Uncle, how much do you need?" 30,000. "Oh, wait a moment. Come and get it tomorrow," Wang Fenghua said after a moment of silence. "Oh, okay. Thank you. Borrow money?" The elder from the same village said a few more words and then left. "Dad, Mom, is he here to borrow money?" "Yes, his son is running a business and needs money urgently." Business. Wang Yao vaguely remembered hearing from Wang Mingbao that his son was working in a factory in Lianshan County. Was he doing business again? It was easy to borrow money but difficult to get money. Wang Yao did not have money. Yes, he did. But he would not easily lend money to ordinary people, unless it was his relatives who he knew well. Otherwise, if he annoyed people because he wanted money, it would be a waste of effort and trouble. "Hey, Dad, Mom, I don't want to talk too much. In the future, if you can, just refuse to borrow money. We're all from the same village. As long as we can solve the problem by ourselves, who will humbly go out to borrow money?" Wang Fenghua said. Wang Yao did not say much after hearing that. He knew that his parents were soft-hearted. "By the way, how is the problem in Jing?" "It's the same as usual," Wang Yao said. "You haven't been home for a few days. A lot of people have come to see the doctor." "Have they come to the house?" "Not really." "That's good." Wang Yao did not want to disturb his parents' peaceful life because of his clinic. "I'll go to the clinic this afternoon." After lunch, he went to the clinic. There were a lot of patients in the afternoon. There were a total of 6. One had a headache, one had leg pain, and one had no strength. These diseases were not particularly difficult to treat. "You've had a headache for a while, right? Did it start around the second day of the first lunar month?" "Hey, it's true. I didn't care much at that time, but it's getting more and more painful," the man in his 30s said. "Sit down." Wang Yao took out 3 needles and inserted them into 3 acupoints on the man's head. He then massaged the man's head with the method of Twina massage. "How do you feel?" "Hey, it doesn't hurt anymore," the man said in surprise. "Not only does my head not hurt, but it's also warm." "Doctor, what's the matter with my headache?" "Did you go to the grave on the second day of the first lunar month?" Wang Yao said. "Yes." In Lianshan County, There was a custom of going to the grave on New Year's Eve and the second day of the first lunar month. It was also divided into different places. 10 miles away was different wind, and 100 miles away was different customs. This was the truth. Was the weather cold on the second day of the first lunar month? It was quite cold. When I went to the grave, the wind on the mountain was strong. I didn't wear a hat, so I was freezing and choking, the man said. Did you drink again after you went back? After going to the grave on the second day of the first lunar month, the main family gathered together to drink. The New Year's wine was basically drunk. Originally, there was nothing to do since the New Year's holiday. The main family, who usually didn't have the opportunity to gather together, took this opportunity to gather together. There was nothing to do in the afternoon, so it was not a big deal to drink a little. When one got drunk, one could go back and sleep. Yes, I had 3.5 glasses that day. It was half a liter of wine. Not only that day, but you also drank a lot of wine those days? Wang Yao asked with a smile. This man's stomach and liver were damaged. He did not look well. His face was slightly yellow. There was a faint smell of wine between his breath. He must have drunk a lot last night. He was an alcoholic. Yes, I don't have any other hobbies. I just like to drink. Ah, doctor, what does the wine have to do with my headache? It was windy and cold that day. You caught a cold in the wild. You drank for days. The wine hurt your liver and stomach. It also hurt your mind. These days, the accumulation of wine has been getting worse, Wang Yao said. Ah, after hearing what you said, it does make sense. The man said. You don't just have a headache. Does it hurt here too? He pointed to the man's right rib. Yes, it hurts faintly. What's the matter, doctor? Drinking too much and hurt your liver, Wang Yao said. This age was in the prime of life. It was reasonable to say that it was the golden age of the body. If he paid attention to his body at this time, starting from diet, living habits, and so on, the golden period could be extended. However, there were a considerable number of people, either because of the need of work or because of their lack of self-control, smoking, drinking, staying up late, and indulging in debauchery. They always felt that their body was in good health and had the capital to do whatever they wanted. However, after a period of time, they would find that their body suddenly deteriorated. They would feel inexplicably tired and easy to catch a cold. It was either here or there that hurt. There was a cause and effect for this. What should I do? Can you prescribe me some medicine? The man hurriedly asked. Prescribe medicine? Wang Yao smiled. You have to quit drinking first. If he quit drinking, it would be useless even if he prescribed medicine. I'll quit, the man immediately said. Did you still drink last night? Ah, just a little bit. A little bit? You still reek of alcohol in the morning. Okay, go back. Next. After paying the consultation fee, the man helplessly left. It was normal for an old man in his 70s to have leg pain. Do you often go up the mountain? Wang Yao looked at the old man's calloused hands and asked. Your leg pain is caused by overwork. I'll prescribe you some medicine for your muscles and bones. You need to rest, Wang Yao said. Okay. Safflower, bone-penetrating grass, angelica, unique one, licorice, boil it in water and apply it externally and internally. Oh, okay. Don't let the old man do heavy labor anymore, Wang Yao said to the woman who accompanied the old man. It was like a machine that had been in operation for decades. It only knew how to use it but rarely maintained it. Many of the key parts were badly worn. If it continued, the machine would have a big problem. Chapter 562. Next, Wang Yao said, Doctor, my body is weak, and I sweat easily. I can't sleep well at night. When people heard this illness, they would usually think that the patient was in his 50s or 60s. However, the person sitting in front of Wang Yao was a man who was at most 30 years old. His hair was yellow, his face was pale and his eyes were dim. His breathing was short and his breath was turbid. He had a strong body odor. "How old are you?" Wang Yao asked. 25, the man said. "Are you married?" "No, I don't even have a girlfriend," the man said. He was nearly 1.8 meters tall, but his voice was like a mosquito's buzzing. He had no confidence. Wang Yao was a little surprised. His condition was a classic case of kidney essence deficiency and excessive indulgence. The kidney was the foundation of the congenital body. The human body had yin, yang, and 5 elements. From yin and yang, the kidney controlled yin. From the 5 elements, the kidney controlled water. If the kidney yin was insufficient, it would cause dizziness and tinnitus. "Do you have a special hobby?" The man was stunned. Hobby? In an instant, he seemed to understand what Wang Yao was referring to. His pale face turned red. "Am I right?" "Yes." "Well, the root of the problem had been found. Is this the cause of my illness?" The young man had doubts. "Yes," Wang Yao said. "I know it's not good, but I can't help it," the man said. "Can't help it?" Wang Yao thought for a moment. "That's easy." He reached out and poked the man's lower abdomen a few times. "Come back in a week." "Ah, that's good." "Okay. Thank you, doctor." The young man was quite polite. He got up and left. However, Wang Yao could see that he still didn't believe him. "This method will definitely work," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Will it work?" Since the first time he tried it after watching a movie a few years ago, he had been addicted to it and couldn't extricate himself. This situation was like taking drugs. It was addictive. It required perseverance and determination to quit. It was also from then on that he gradually felt that his body was getting worse and worse, and his temper was also getting worse. He lost his temper easily and was unable to calm down no matter what he did. He had no confidence in himself. Next, after leaving the clinic, Wang Yao continued to see patients. "Doctor, I've been having a stomachache lately," the man in his 40s said. "Which one? How does it hurt?" "Here it's like being pricked by a needle." He pointed at his abdomen. "Open your mouth, stick out your tongue, ah. Ah." The man opened his mouth, and a scorching hot smell rushed out. "Do you occasionally feel a burning pain in your chest, like you're on fire?" "Ah, yes. It's a stomach ulcer, and it's quite serious." "Have you been to a regular hospital?" "No, it didn't hurt much at first, so I didn't take it seriously," the man said. "Recently, it's been very painful. Last time, my father had a headache in your clinic. After taking a few doses of medicine, he came to see you. Drinking and smoking, right?" Wang Yao said. There was a faint smell of alcohol in his mouth, and there were cigarette stains on his teeth. "Yes." "Quit both," Wang Yao said. What? Your life is more important. I'll prescribe you a medicine first. Try it." Wang Yao got up and went to the medicine box to prepare the medicine. Astragalus root, cassia branch, white peony, forsythia, dandelion, coptis root, angelica dihurica, radix sinensis, viola indigotica, and licorice. It could clear away heat and detoxify, remove blood stasis, and regenerate new blood. It was mainly used to treat gastrointestinal ulcers. I've written down the decoction method. Take it according to the prescription, Wang Yao said after giving him the medicine. Remember, no smoking, drinking, spicy, and fresh food. Okay, thank you. After paying the bill, he took his leave. The next patient was from the same village. He was about the same age as Wang Yao and had a headache. You have a cold. You don't need to take medicine. Go back and drink more water. Cook a bowl of ginger soup at night and sleep. You'll be fine. Okay. By the time he finished seeing these patients, it was already dark. Wang Yao organized the patients' conditions and recorded them down. He then got up and went home. At night, he went up Nanshan Hill. San Xian came down from the hill and wagged his tail happily. Sansien, you've gained weight again. It was very quiet on the hill. Only the sound of the wind could be heard. When Wang Yao went into the herbal field, a snake jumped out. Hello, Xiaohe. In the cottage on the hill, there was a light. There was a map on Wang Yao's desk. It was a map of Nanshan Hill. He wanted to arrange something outside the spirit-gathering battle array. It connected the east and west mountains and even farther places. He needed trees and rocks. There was only one way to go up the hill. It was not until late at night that the lights on the hill went out. The next day, the weather was gloomy. It was drizzling. Wang Yao held an umbrella and went down the hill. The breath around his body blocked the wind and rain. After going down the hill, he saw a familiar car. It actually came in this weather? It was Professor Liu who drove the car. Hello, Dr. Wang. He looked very tired. Hello, come in. Wang Yao invited him into the room and made him a cup of tea. You have to take care of your body. Overwork will make you sick. I discussed with Xiaowan's family and wanted to come here for treatment. You can come, but I can't promise anything. If it was at the very beginning, Wang Yao could have some confidence to reverse her seriously damaged kidney through treatment. But now, the broken boat was still full of holes. How could he repair it? I know. Professor Liu sighed. After drinking a cup of tea, he felt that a lot of his fatigue had been driven away. Sorry to disturb you. Find a place and have a good sleep, Wang Yao said with a smile. Oh, okay. After sitting in the clinic for a while, he saw someone coming and left. Why are you free today? Don't you accompany Ms. Han? It was Wang Mingbao. Don't mention it, Wang Mingbao said. She wants to go back to Jia County. She said she wants to see the children. I'm going to go with her. Is she not used to living here? No, I think she has nothing to do. Buddy, I'm here to ask you for help. Wang Mingbao's expression was solemn. What's the matter? Can you find a way to make her pregnant quickly? What? Wang Yao was stunned. If she is pregnant and gives birth, she will have something to do. Besides, my parents also want to hold grandchildren. A granddaughter is fine too. Wang Yao rubbed his forehead. This is the first time I've heard of this. Aren't your medical skills very good? I've never tried this, Wang Yao said bluntly. Having a child is not a matter of one person. I don't care. You find a way for me. Okay, you can find time to bring Ms. Han here again. By the way, if you want to have a child, you have to quit smoking and drinking first, Wang Yao said. Okay, no problem. It was still raining outside. It was spring rain, but it was not annoying. Let's have lunch together. Okay, let's go to my house. I'll tell my mother. Okay. At noon, Wang Mingbao went to Wang Yao's house for a meal. After sitting for a while, he left. Mingbao, what's the matter? Yes, I want to have a child. What? Zhang Xiuying was stunned. You see, he's planning to have a child. I said too much again. Wang Yao immediately realized. Fortunately, his mother did not say anything more. In the afternoon, the rain showed no signs of stopping. The sky was still gloomy. Thousands of miles away in Dali, the Han family. Brother, tomorrow is the 7th day. Is everything ready? Yes. Ling, who was lying in the hospital bed, had woken up, but he was still unable to speak. Ling, I'll take you on a long journey tomorrow. You may be tired. They were still quite a distance from the place where Wu San, the king pharmacist, was. It would take a few hours to drive there. Moreover, the last part of the journey was a dirt road. It was very bumpy and difficult to walk. Ordinary people would feel uncomfortable because of the bumpy road, let alone a seriously ill person. I've found a caravan. Okay. In the jungle of southern Yunnan, in a village, in a bamboo house, the king pharmacist, who was in his 70s, was staring at the medicine in a daze. For 6 days, he had been using all the methods he could think of to analyze the composition of the 3 medicines, but without exception, all of them failed. How could this be? Chapter 563. What's wrong with the king pharmacist? He hasn't seen any patients for 6 days. I've been waiting here for 10 days. It's only been 10 days. You should be content. Some people have been waiting here for 20 days. The king pharmacist was in a bad mood because he hadn't figured out the composition of the decoction. He hadn't seen any patients in the past few days, which made the people waiting outside suffer. It was normal that he wouldn't see patients when he was in a bad mood. I don't know when the king pharmacist will cool down this time. Well, let's keep waiting. The people waiting to see a doctor in the village helplessly glanced at the 2-story bamboo building. There was nothing they could do about it. It started to rain in Dali the next morning. It was not too fast or too slow. The Han family moved the seriously ill Lao Si into the RV they had prepared and drove to the village where the king pharmacist was. After a few hours of running and bumping, they arrived at the village. Hey, the king pharmacist didn't see any patients today. Han Xing, who got out of the RV, overheard the conversation of the people waiting there. Do we have to wait in line? He asked Han Zhigao. I don't think so. Didn't he tell us to come in 7 days? Why don't you ask him first? Okay, I know, Han Xing said. Han Zhigao went outside the bamboo building. You don't have to go. The king pharmacist hasn't been in a good mood these days. He won't see any patients today, someone kindly reminded him. I'll go and have a look, Han Zhigao said. Outside the bamboo building was a fence less than a person's height. There was also a wooden door with a bell hanging on it. Wang Yao went over and rang the bell. Ding, ding, ding. A man in his 30s walked out of the bamboo building. He was Cheng, who had accompanied the king pharmacist to Dali last time. Hello. It's you. Did you bring the patient? He recognized Han Zhigao at a glance. Yes, Han Zhigao said. Wait a minute. He went into the bamboo building and quickly came out. Bring the patient in, Han Zhigao said. Okay, thank you, Han Zhigao said. Han Zhigao left in a hurry. It didn't take long for Han Zhigao to carry the patient into the bamboo building with a stretcher. Didn't he say he wouldn't see any patients? What's going on? The people in the village were very surprised. I think the king of medicine has already promised them, someone said. Look, that person is seriously ill. Yes, his whole body is wrapped in bandages. Could he have been burned by the fire? The last time I saw someone come here, he also looked like this. I heard that he stayed here for a month. You've been here before? Last time I came with a friend. This time I came to see the doctor on my own. Inside the bamboo house, the king of medicine didn't seem very happy. The Han family members didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Leave 2 people behind. The rest of you leave. AI. Han Xing and Han Jiu stayed behind, and the rest of the people went outside the bamboo building. Remove all the gauze from his body. All right. Han Zhigao was about to take action, but Ah Cheng stepped in front of the patient and quickly untied the gauze. After unraveling it, the 3 layers of medicine had completely congealed like a blood scab. Moreover, there were cracks on them. Break. Ah Cheng quickly broke the scab. This time, his movements were very gentle. When the scab was broken, a unique smell rushed out. It was a little pungent. The patient's skin was no longer as scary as it had been at the beginning. A faint flesh color could be seen. Ah Cheng had been able to remove rot and promote muscle growth. It's working, Han Xing and Han Jiu thought when they saw that. The king of medicine approached the patient and looked carefully. Medicine. Hearing this, Ah Cheng carried the 3 jars of medicine over. You do it. Yes, master. Ah Cheng began to work. The first jar was green in color. It was as thick as honey, and the smell was a little pungent. Ah Cheng's movements were obviously much slower than the king of medicine's last time, but his hands were very steady and careful. Help him stand up. Okay. Han Zhigao hurried forward to help. His hands inevitably touched the medicine. He only felt that it was very cold. After touching the first layer of medicine, it was the second layer, which was as thick as a plaster. This layer completely sealed the first layer of medicine. Then it was the third layer, which was a layer of powder. At this point, Ah Cheng's arms were already trembling slightly. Phew! After finishing this step, he let out a long sigh of relief. After resting for a while, he carefully wrapped the patient's body with gauze again. The king of medicine nodded. Apparently, he was satisfied with his disciple's performance just now. Give him a cordyceps pill. Yes, master. Ah Cheng poured out a pill from a medicine bottle. It was about the size of a thumb. He gave it to the patient. Okay, come back in 10 days, the king of medicine said. Okay, thank you. Han Xing and Han Jiu felt as if they had been pardoned. During the treatment process, the two of them didn't even dare to breathe loudly. They were afraid that if they angered the king of medicine, all their previous efforts would be wasted. It was also a torturous process for them. I'll go out and call someone. Han Jiu got up and was about to go out. Wait, the king of medicine said. What else can I do for you? The king of medicine stared at the two of them. They couldn't guess what he was thinking, but the two brothers felt very uncomfortable being stared at. They felt like they were being stared at by a beast in the dark. These 3 medicines, where did they come from? He pointed at the 3 porcelain bottles in front of him and asked. Oh, so that's it, the two brothers whispered. Old man, don't be so scary. They came from a young doctor, Han Xing said. Tell me more details. Then, Han Xing told the king of medicine in detail. Anyway, they had already given the medicine provided by Wang Yao to the king of medicine. They had already broken the promise they made to Wang Yao. It didn't matter if they said more. Sanguzi, that old guy. The king of medicine lowered his head and pondered. No one knew what he was thinking. Let's go. The king of medicine waved his hand. Yes. The two brothers carefully carried the Han clan's 4th brother out, along with the people who came from outside. Then, they bid farewell and left. Your hand touched the medicine, so it may itch and hurt. Don't panic. It will be fine soon, Qing told Han Jiu. Okay, I know. Hey, they are out. The people outside saw them carry Han Xing out. Hey, has he been cured or not? Yes, he has. Didn't you see that the gauze outside has been changed? I'll go and ask. Someone came in front of him. Brother, please excuse me for a moment. Someone stopped Han Xing. What's the matter? I thought the king of medicine didn't see any patients today, the person said. We made an appointment a long time ago, Han Xing said. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. After carrying Han Xing into the car, they were ready to go to Dali. Hey, I remember. They were the people who gave the medicine to the king of medicine a few days ago. I know one of them. One of the people waiting for treatment recognized Han Zhigao. Hey, don't tell me they made the king of medicine unhappy? No, if he was unhappy, he would still treat them. The car started and moved forward bumpily. Thousands of miles away in Lianshan County, it was still raining. Wang Yao drove out of the mountain village and went to the seedling nursery where he often bought seedlings. Hey, where is your boss? I am the boss. The person who greeted Wang Yao was a man in his 30s. He was very strong. Has he changed? Oh, my brother asked me to take care of the nursery. He is busy with other things. Do you know my brother? Yes. Then you must be a regular customer. May I know your surname? My surname is Wang. Wang Yao, right? The man actually called out Wang Yao's name. Yes, that's me. Sure enough, it's you. Come in, please. After confirming Wang Yao's identity, the man was very polite. He invited Wang Yao into the office in the nursery and made him tea. Before my brother asked me to take care of the nursery, he specifically asked me to give you the best things at the lowest price since you are a distinguished customer, the young man said. Oh, my name is Li Xiu. You can call me Xiao Li. Hello, Manager Li. Here are the trees I want. Take a look. Eucalyptus, banyan, jujube, no problem, Li Shiyu said after looking carefully. Although he felt that the trees and shrubs the customer wanted were a bit messy, he stopped thinking about it when he recalled what his elder brother had told him. When can you get them ready? Within 7 days. Okay, call me when you are ready. Wang Yao left his phone number. Chapter 564. After leaving the nursery, Wang Yao returned home. It was 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The sky was overcast. It had been raining for a day. No one came to the clinic because of the rain. Wang Yao returned home early. He went to Nanshan Hill after dinner. On the windy road, a car sped toward Lianshan County. Uncle, thank you so much, a young man in the car said. Don't mention it. You know my relationship with your mother, Professor Lu said. He was very tired. He had traveled more than 1,000 miles in more than a day. Does Dr. Wang really have a way? The young man asked. It's better to wait for death in the hospital, Professor Lu said. Besides, no one can be absolutely sure about this disease. Yes, the young man said. The atmosphere in the car was a bit depressing. Cough. Cough. A woman coughed. Mom! I'm fine. In the back seat of the car, a woman was curled up. She was wrapped in thick clothes. She seemed to be very afraid of the cold. Her face was pale, and her eyes were sunken. There was not much flesh on her face. She was all skin and bones. She looked like a mummy, which gave people a creepy feeling. Hold on a little longer. We're almost there. Outside the car, the rain had been pouring nonstop since they entered the border of Qi province. The car had a heater on, but she still felt cold. Slow down. Don't rush. It's raining outside. The road is slippery, the woman said weakly. Okay. It was getting dark soon. Wang Yao went to Nanshan Hill early after dinner. At this time, there was no one on the road outside. After leaving the village, Wang Yao put away the umbrella. Within 3 feet, the invisible breath blocked the wind and rain. This rain is going to continue for the entire night. It was very quiet on a rainy night. It was suitable for sleeping, watching a movie, making a cup of tea, or reading a good book. In a house in Lianshan County, a man was looking at a computer. He was hesitating and thinking. In the end, he couldn't help but enter the website imprinted in his mind. A very exciting website popped up. He clicked on a short video. The plot and sound made people feel hot all over. He couldn't help it. Suddenly, he screamed. He covered his lower abdomen and fell to the ground. What was going on? At that moment, his body reacted. Then, he felt the pain of needles and knives piercing his lower abdomen and his crotch. In an instant, he broke out in cold sweat. How could he still be in the mood to watch that exciting movie? He hurriedly turned off the computer and lay down on the bed. His lower abdomen was still in pain, as if he was being pricked by needles. What's going on? He was very puzzled. Could it be that there's something wrong with her body after doing this for a long time? He was a little worried. Wait a minute. Suddenly, he remembered that when he went to the traditional Chinese medicine hall in the mountain village a day ago, the doctor who was about the same age as him had poked his lower abdomen a few times. That position seemed to be here, but he didn't feel anything unusual at that time. No, I'll go see that doctor tomorrow. If it's not because of him, I'll become a useless person in the future. The next morning, the sky was still cloudy, but the rain had stopped. Before Wang Yao went down the mountain, a car arrived at the mountain village early. The door of the clinic was closed. He's not here yet. Let's wait, said Professor Lu. Okay, said Professor Lu. While they were waiting, another car arrived outside the clinic. A young man with a slightly pale face got out of the car and went to the clinic. Hasn't he come yet? He walked back and forth outside the clinic a few times and then went back to the car to wait. On Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao made some breakfast and added dog food for San Xian. What's wrong? You don't like it? Woof, woof. It's seafood. No, what's that? Grilled fish. You're a dog, not a cat. Oh, I find that you've become more and more picky recently. Wang Yao smiled and touched San Xian's head. Well, I'll bring you a braised fish today, okay? After going down the mountain, he saw the car parked outside the clinic. You're here so early. Dr. Wang. Professor Liu, who was sitting in the car, saw Wang Yao coming from the mountain road. He got out of the car early and greeted him. Hello, Professor Liu. Have you been waiting for a long time? Asked Wang Yao. No, I just arrived, said Professor Liu. Is the patient here? Yes. Come in. Dr. Wang. Another young man followed him. It's you. Wang Yao remembered this young man. He had come to the clinic the day before yesterday. The young man had a serious kidney deficiency and had a bad habit of having sex. Well, I have something to ask you. He still didn't speak with confidence. His voice was as weak as the wind nearby. Come in. Professor Liu and the young man helped Wenwan into the clinic. The young man wanted to go up and help, but when he looked at the pale face, he thought about it and didn't do anything. He's not bad at all. Wang Yao had noticed all these details. So serious. After entering the clinic, there was no need to check her pulse. Just looking at her complexion, there was no color. Listening to her breathing, there was more in and less out. It was as if the sun had set in the west and the lamp had run out of oil. Take this pill. Wang Yao hurriedly took out a 9 herbs pill and gave it to her. Untie her outer coat. Wang Yao hurriedly pressed several acupoints in her body and then transferred Neishi into her body. After seeing Wang Yao finish everything, Professor Liu asked, Dr. Wang? How is Wan? It's very serious. She can have problems at any time. I can only temporarily keep her alive, Wang Yao said. In such a situation, it was possible that she would fall asleep and never wake up again. I've already told you. It's my fault, Wenwan said. Since you're here, I'll try my best. It's best to find a place to stay nearby. Okay. Is there anyone who can rent a house in the village? Asked Professor Liu. The last time he came here, he already had this idea. He wanted to rent a house here and stay for a while to treat Wenwan's illness. The treatment before the new year had already begun to take effect. I'm not sure, Wang Yao said. Go to the village committee and ask. Okay. What about Wan? Let her stay here for a while. The young man stayed to take care of his mother, while Professor Liu went out to ask about the house. What's wrong with you? Wang Yao turned his head and asked the young man. Well, when I arrived last night, my lower abdomen suddenly hurt, the young man stammered. He seemed to be embarrassed because he still had sex. Do you have that thought again? Wang Yao asked. Yes. Once you have that thought, your body will have a reaction and it will hurt, Wang Yao said. The day before yesterday, when he examined the young man, he did something to the young man's meridians. Once the blood and qi in those meridians accelerated, it would cause a reaction. Will I be unable to do that in the future? The young man hurriedly asked. This was also what he was worried about. No. After you get rid of this bad habit, I will naturally help you recover. It won't affect your health in the future. Oh, that's good. That's good. The young man was still a little worried. He was afraid that it would leave a psychological shadow. Your psychological quality is very poor, Wang Yao suddenly said as he looked at the young man. Ah, yes, yes. After hearing Wang Yao's words, he immediately responded. He didn't have any intention of doing anything. He didn't dare to look into Wang Yao's eyes when talking to him. You don't exercise much, do you? Wang Yao looked at the young man, who was nearly 1.8 meters tall and weighed less than 60 kilograms. He was like a hemp pole. Yes, I don't like to exercise much. When you go back, run 3 kilometers every day and do 50 push-ups. Do it for a month and see the effect. Okay. Don't just say yes. You have to put it into action and persevere. Wang Yao felt that the young man was kind-hearted, so he advised him. Okay. Okay, you can go back. Come back in a month. Okay, thank you. The young man expressed his gratitude and left. Only when Wan and her son were left in the house. When Wan's body was still trembling, like a leaf in the wind and rain. In the mountain village, Professor Lu went to the village brigade house and found the village party secretary. Chapter 565. Renting a house? A university professor from a famous university? Wang Jianli was surprised. First, it was the son of a rich family. Now, it was a university professor. He either bought or rented a house for treatment. Is the young man in this village so good at medicine? Wang Jianli would try his best to help since it was a senior intellectual's request. Besides, there were still a few vacant houses in the village. He immediately contacted 2 houses that were not bad. Soon, someone came to settle the matter with Professor Lu. After looking at the houses, Professor Lu returned to the clinic. Okay, I've rented it. Take her back to rest. Come back after 9 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Professor Lu and the young man helped Wan out of the clinic. I'm going to be busy, Wang Yao thought. The first thing he had to do to treat Wan's illness was to find a way to keep her alive. At the same time, he used very gentle means to remove the toxins produced in her body. Part of the function of the kidney was filtration. It was like a filter to filter out the harmful substances into the urine and then out of the body. Once the kidney was damaged and lost this function, the body's metabolism would be disrupted and the yin and yang would be out of balance. When the condition worsened, the body would collapse, just like Wan's current situation. It's difficult to treat her. Wang Yao planned to warm her body with decoctions first. However, as the saying goes, all medicine is 30% poison. Even the decoctions he used were actually toxic. Of course, some of the licorice roots were excluded. Even if he used the ancient spring water and multifunctional pot for herbs in the herbal field, it was impossible to remove all the harmful components in the herbs. If it was an ordinary patient, the effect would be minimal. However, when Wan was different. The most important organ in her body that dealt with the harmful substances had been seriously damaged. I have to use different decoctions to neutralize the harmful properties. Wang Yao was thinking about the prescription. The combination of yin and yang and the 5 elements was not a fantasy. It was not a cultivation. It was a prescription. Ganoderma lucidum, purple grass, gorgon fruit, deer antler, privet, Polygonum multiflorum, cordyceps. He listed the herbs one by one. He wrote very slowly because he had a lot to think about. On the other side, Professor Lu took Wan to the house in the village. The house was clean. It was already March. Although it was already wake up, the weather was still cold. There was no heater here. Fortunately, there was an air conditioner in the room. The villagers were simple. You're here to see Yao, right? Yes. Look at this girl. She's quite sick. You should use the air conditioner. I have 2 quilts here. If you don't mind, you can use them first. The middle-aged woman explained the water, electricity, and electrical equipment in the house in detail. Okay, thank you so much, said Professor Lu. They came here in a hurry and didn't have the time to consider so many things and be so careful. It's okay. It's not easy to go out. Call me if you need anything. The woman was very enthusiastic. Firstly, the house was empty, and the person who rented the house was generous. More importantly, she heard from the village secretary that the old man who looked to be in his 60s was a professor at a famous university in the country. In their eyes, these people were like high-ranking officials in the city. She also had the thought of befriending them. Okay. The villagers in this village are very enthusiastic, said Wan's son. Yes, said Professor Lu. Help your mother to the Kong bed first. I'll add some firewood to make the Kong bed warmer, said Professor Lu. Can you do it? Let me do it. Don't underestimate me. When I was an educated youth in the countryside, I did a lot of work like this. Take good care of your mother. There was firewood in the yard. Professor Lu went to add some water to the pot and made a fire. Soon, the Kong bed was warm. Mom, how do you feel? Asked the young man softly. Quite good. When Wan's words were weak. In fact, her current situation was very bad. She was indescribably uncomfortable. She didn't have any strength. Not to mention talking, even breathing was very laborious. This disease can't be cured. This was the thought in her heart. She had already had this thought when she was in the hospital. The reason why she came was that she didn't want her family and the person who had been thinking about her to be angry. The Kong bed under her body was warm. She felt that her body was not so cold. She wanted to sleep, but she couldn't. She wanted to eat, but she couldn't. The disease was tormenting her. It was better to die than to live like this. She had once had the same thought. However, people didn't live for themselves. She had to live even if she was in pain. In the clinic, Wang Yao was still busy. The prescription had been confirmed. The next step was to prepare the medicine. He had most of the medicine, but he still lacked cordyceps. He called Li Maoshuang and asked him to buy some wild ones. It was noon before he knew it. After lunch, Wang Yao returned to the clinic. Professor Lu came again. Dr. Wang, am I bothering you? It's okay. Have a seat. Wang Yao got up and made him a cup of tea. Your body is very tired. You need to rest, Wang Yao said. When people were old, traveling long distances and not resting well would have a negative impact on the body. I haven't had a good rest these days. I'm worried about Wan, said Professor Lu. His voice was a little hoarse. About Wan's illness? Asked Wang Yao. I've said that I'll try my best. You came too late and she didn't listen to me, said Wang Yao calmly. Originally, he didn't want to see such a patient. Because of her filial piety and Professor Lu's friendship, he came several times. He just started to see patients. Would you like to listen to this old man's nagging? Asked Professor Lu. Please, said Wang Yao with a smile. I'm 64. At that time, she was very quiet, like an orchid growing in the valley. The first time I saw her, I had a feeling that my heart was moved. But at that time, in that environment, I could only hide it in my heart. When we were in school, I would silently look at her from afar. Later, when we were both in high school, I mustered up the courage to write her a letter. At that time, it was not as open as it is now. If someone found out, it would be a big deal. Professor Lu took a sip of tea and continued. Professor Lu took a sip of tea and spoke in a hoarse voice about their ignorant youth and young love. In that era, the two people were separated because of the big environment. When they met again, Wan was already married. The person he loved the most was married to someone else. Unfortunately, God arranged for them to meet again, and they met at a university. This was a cruel thing. When they met again, it was a kind of heartache. After that, we kept in touch, said Professor Lu. Her husband passed away early. I also have a family, said Wang Yao. Wang Yao was stunned. Ha, I'm mentally derailed, said the old man. Wang Yao smiled but did not say anything. Who could say whether these things were right or wrong? It could only be said that God made a fool of people. One afternoon, a cup of tea, a story, and decades of friendship. Wang Yao was deeply moved. These things were different when he heard them in person. They were not things that could be compared to those things in television and movies. You're not married yet, right? Asked Professor Lu. Not yet. Do you have someone you like? Well. Wang Yao's eyes drifted out of the window. Kind of. Oh, you have to seize it and cherish it. After finishing the tea in the cup, the old man got up and left. In the afternoon, when Wang Yao went home for dinner, his mother asked him about it. A university professor came to the village and asked you to treat him? This news spread really fast, said Wang Yao with emotion. It had only been a day. It's such a big village, and he rented a house here. I heard it by chance, said Zhang Xiuying with a smile. Yes. Is he very sick? Asked Wang Yao. Quite sick, Wang Yao said. Don't blame Mom for being nosy. Go ahead, said Wang Yao hurriedly. This illness, if you can treat him, then treat him. If you can't, then don't force yourself, said Zhang Xiuying. Don't let him rely on you again. Oh, I know, Mom, Wang Yao said. He knew his mother was doing this for his own good. Chapter 566. After dinner, Wang Yao went to Nanshan Hill early. He needed to concoct a medicine that could keep Wenwan's life. Although the 9 herbs pill had extraordinary medicinal properties, it was still not enough for Wenwan's current condition. He chose a few licorice root. Moonlight nourished Yin and calmed the nerves. Everlasting grass was not dirty and could make up for loss and loss. These 2 herbs were easy. He wanted to add Changyang, which also had the effect of nourishing the 5 viscera, but he did not have enough redemption points. In the cottage, the firewood was burning, making crackling sounds. The multifunctional pot for herbs was clear and green, exuding a unique herbal fragrance. These 2 herbs did not conflict with each other and had no side effect. It did not take long for the medicine to be ready. That night, he went to bed early. The night was very quiet. The night in the mountain village was much quieter than in the city. However, some people were tossing and turning. Professor Liu could not fall asleep lying in bed. It was not because the bed was too hard, but because he had too many things on his mind. He was not only worried about Wenwan's condition. He had just received a call from home. It was his wife, who had been with him for decades. She was a very virtuous woman. Before he left, he told his wife that he was accompanying a friend to see a doctor and might be delayed for a while. His wife did not say much. She just reminded him to take care of his body when he was outside and not to be tired. He had a virtuous wife and sensible children. He also had a decent job and lived a very happy life. However, he still could not forget his first love and was willing to do so much for her. This was a kind of spiritual derailment. This was a kind of cheap behavior. Of course, he did not dare to tell his wife and family such things. He could only bury it in his heart. Sigh, a sigh. In the next room, Wenwan also could not sleep. She could not sleep because of the torture of her illness. Her whole body was unspeakably uncomfortable. Sigh. It was also a sigh, but she did not have much strength. The night was very quiet. It was very long for people who could not sleep. The next morning, the sun rose as usual, but it was a little cold. Wang Yao received a phone call when he was still on Nanshan Hill. Master, are you free today? It was Pan Jun who called. Yes, come. Okay. Pan Jun hung up the phone happily. Look at how happy you are. You look like a child. His wife said when she saw this. Of course I'm happy. I'm going to learn some skills. You've already tried what I've learned. It's useful, right? Pan Jun asked. He had learned from Wang Yao for a short period of time, mainly about the knowledge of meridians and acupoints. He had completely mastered it and learned the most basic technique. He first familiarized himself with it for a period of time, then began to experiment on his own family members. The first one was his wife, and the results were good. After a day of work, his wife said that her body felt much better after his massage. She could fall asleep easily at night. Moreover, after a night of sleep, she was full of energy. His wife was naturally very happy and praised him a lot. This master of yours is truly capable. These were his wife's exact words. Of course, Pan Jun had wanted to go for a long time, but he knew that Wang Yao had gone on a long trip recently. First, he went to Beijing, then he went to Dali. These 2 trips had delayed him for nearly 10 days. It was not easy to get the opportunity today. Naturally, he could not miss it. I'm going. Drive carefully on the road. I know. Before Wang Yao went down the hill, Pan Jun had already arrived outside the clinic. You're early, Wang Yao said with a smile after going down the hill. I want to write more things with you. Don't you have to work today? Night shift, Pan Jun replied. Good. It happens that there's a special patient today. You can take a good look at her later, Wang Yao said. Okay. The door of the clinic opened. The master and student went in. It was a bit cold in the morning. After the sun came out, it was much better. At about 9:30 a.m., Professor Liu Wenwan and her son arrived at the clinic. Is she a patient? Seeing Wenwan's condition, Pan Jun was shocked. She was on the verge of death, because she didn't walk in by herself, but was carried in by her son. From the looks of it, she was on the verge of death. Didn't you sleep well last night? Wang Yao glanced at them. He knew that the three of them did not sleep well last night. Yes. Come on, take this medicine first. Wang Yao poured a small bowl of decoction that he had brewed and handed it to Wenwan. The decoction was warm. The young man helped his mother to take the medicine. Here are 3 9-herbs pills. Take one a day. Wang Yao took out 3 9-herbs pills and handed them to Professor Liu. Okay. After taking the medicine, Wenwan waited in the clinic for another half an hour. Wang Yao checked her again before letting her go back. What do you think of the patient's condition? He turned to ask Pan Jun. She's terminally ill and dying, Pan Jun said. Yes, can you give her a massage treatment? Wang Yao asked. No, Pan Jun thought for a moment and said. When Wang Yao was teaching him tween a massage, he had told him what kind of patients he could use it on, what kind of diseases he could use it on, and what kind of patients he could not use it on. He definitely could not use it on people who were terminally ill. Their bodies were very fragile. Massage was actually a kind of external stimulation. It pushed the acupoints and accelerated the circulation of qi and blood. This method was not suitable for every patient. Master, what kind of disease does she have? Kidney failure. No, now it's the failure of all 5 organs, Wang Yao said. Damn, is it that patient? Pan Jun vaguely remembered that Wang Yao had mentioned this patient. Yes. Hasn't she been receiving treatment from you? How did she become like this? For a period of time, she did not receive treatment. Instead, she went home to accompany her sick mother. Wang Yao briefly told Pan Jun about Wenwan's situation. She is a filial daughter, but she is too extreme. It was the first time he had heard of such a person after working in the county hospital for so many years. Master, this person's disease has reached this level. Are you sure you can treat her? Let's give it a try. After this matter, he began to teach Pan Jun the knowledge of massage. Pan Jun listened very carefully and recorded some things in his notebook. Unknowingly, it was morning. Master, can I treat you to lunch at noon? Okay. The place was the same restaurant in the next village. They were regulars there. Dr. Wang. The owner was familiar with Wang Yao. In fact, after a long period of accumulation, almost every village in the nearby villages had some people who wanted to see Wang Yao. The treatment effect was also very good. Therefore, Wang Yao was regarded as a celebrity in the nearby villages. Whenever the villagers had some difficult diseases, they would think of him. There were several dishes. The master and apprentice chatted while eating. While they were eating, another group of people came outside, followed by another. Soon, the small courtyard outside was filled with cars. Boss, business is good. Yes, there have been a lot of people coming to eat recently. The hot spring villa in Lijiago has opened. Is that so? Wang Yao had forgotten about this matter. I have been there. It is very good, the owner said. Yes. After lunch, the master and apprentice left the restaurant and returned to the clinic. At this time, no one came to see the doctor. It was lunchtime. Let's have lunch and have a rest. Okay. Pan Jun lay down for a while. Then, he got up and flipped through the books on massage on Wang Yao's desk. In the afternoon, 2 patients came. They were both old people with leg pain. You can have a try, Wang Yao said to Pan Jun. Okay. Can he do it? One of the old people asked. They came to see the young man. No problem. He is the doctor in charge of the county hospital, Wang Yao said. Is that so? The old people were skeptical. Pan Jun took out the doctor's certificate that he carried with him. Their doubts were dispelled. The old man's illness was actually very simple. He had worked for a long time and his legs were ill. For such an illness, massage could be used, and the effect was good. Chapter 567. Pan Jun was a little nervous. This was his first time treating patients. It was completely different from treating his wife at home. This situation was similar to when he first entered the emergency department, when he first came into contact with patients, and when he first held a scalpel. He was nervous and excited. He took a few deep breaths and began to massage the two old men. His movements were slow, but his hands were steady. After all, this was the hand that could hold a scalpel. Pan Jun already knew the meridians and acupoints of the human body. He had also mastered the basic technique. Now, he only lacked practical experience. Therefore, he cherished this opportunity very much. His movements were slow. He used gentle strength at first, then gradually increased the strength. These were the techniques that Wang Yao taught him. Ouch! The old man's body suddenly trembled. What's wrong? Pan Jun hurriedly asked. It hurts a little, the old man said. It's okay. It's normal. Wang Yao said. When massaging, the body did not feel very comfortable. It was normal to feel sore or itchy. Continue. Pan Jun listened and continued. Time passed slowly. It's almost time, Wang Yao said. This time, the massage lasted for nearly an hour. Grandpa, please wait for a moment. Do you feel better? Wang Yao said. Okay, the old man said. The second old man's situation was basically the same as his. However, this time, Pan Jun was obviously much more confident than the first time. His movements were also more skillful. The time was shortened by more than 10 minutes. The two old men were very satisfied with Pan Jun's massage. When they arrived, their legs were still faintly painful. When they walked, they always felt something was wrong. Their legs and their bodies were not very coordinated. They felt much better now. Well, you're quite capable, the old man said. The two old men paid the fee and left. How do you feel? Wang Yao asked Pan Jun, who was next to him. It feels like the first time I successfully saved a patient in the emergency department. It's very fulfilling, Pan Jun said with a smile. He was speaking from the bottom of his heart. Come often in the future. There will be such opportunities. You can also try your sister's clinic, Wang Yao said with a smile. A considerable number of patients who came to see him had headaches and leg pain. In medicine, theory and practice were equally important. All right. Time passed quickly, and the sky gradually darkened. Pan Jun said goodbye and left the mountain village. It was a very fulfilling and meaningful day. Mom, the hot spring villa in Lijiago has opened for business. I'll go and take a look tomorrow. Can I take you and Dad to the hot spring when I'm free? What's so good about that? I'm not going. Wang Yao had good intentions, but he didn't expect that his mother would refuse him flatly. Obviously, she didn't want to go. The day after tomorrow is your sister's engagement. Don't forget. I won't forget, Wang Yao said. This was the first major event for the Wang family this year. At night, in the rented house. Mom, how do you feel? The young man asked his mother. Much better, Wenwan said. Wang Yao's medicine was indeed effective. After drinking the medicine twice a day, her body did indeed improve to a certain extent. Although she still felt weak and uncomfortable, it was not as bad as yesterday. That's good. Why don't you take a nap? Okay. Seeing his mother fall asleep, the young man gently tucked her in. Then, he went to the courtyard and lit a cigarette. Professor Liu was also smoking outside. Is your mother asleep? She's asleep. The medicine is effective. Uncle Lou, if you have something to do, you can go ahead. I'll be fine here alone. It's okay. I've already asked for leave from the university. You can't handle it alone here. The young man was silent for a while. We don't know how long we'll have to stay here. As long as it can be treated, we'll stay here forever. In fact, at the very beginning, the young man didn't agree with his mother coming to the clinic. After all, it was a small mountain village. The doctors there were only local doctors. How good could they be? As long as they had the ability, why wouldn't they go to a hospital in a big city? If Professor Lou hadn't done a lot of work, and his mother had told him that the young man was extraordinary. His mother had also personally admitted that the young man was extraordinary. He would never agree to his mother leaving a famous hospital in the country and coming here to see a doctor. He seems to be about the same age as me. I didn't expect him to have such ability. Why is he willing to stay in such a small mountain village? As a young man, he was very puzzled about this. It was windy at night. It was still relatively cold outside. Go back to the house. You've been tired all day. Go to bed early. Okay. The night in the mountain village was very quiet. That night, Professor Lu Wenwan and her son rested much better. The next day, Wang Ziqing came to the clinic after 9 a.m. He came to buy medicine. His father's medicine had been finished. Come and get it in the afternoon. Bring your uncle along. I'll have a look at him. Okay. Take care of yourself. Wang Yao found that Wang Ziqing's face was very bad. He had deep eye bags, which was a sign of overwork. Okay, Wang Ziqing said. He had changed. He had really changed. In the past, he was just farming at home and working outside. He was not serious at all. Now, in order to treat his father's illness, he saw that the money he had saved for several years was quickly consumed. In the long run, he would definitely run out of money. He had secretly vowed that he must make his father happy in the future. He would not have to worry about food and clothing. Naturally, he could not delay the treatment of medicine. For this reason, he had to earn more money, so he found 2 jobs, which was naturally more tiring. The body is the foundation of all life. If the body collapses, everything will be in vain. I know this. I just want to make up for it, Wang Ziqing said. It was not easy for a prodigal to turn over a new leaf. Well, I'll still give you the medicine, but you can pay half of the money first, Wang Yao said. Is this appropriate? Wang Ziqing was stunned. It's appropriate. Well, thank you so much. You can rest assured that I won't be short of money, Wang Ziqing hurriedly said. In this way, his pressure would be a lot less. Okay, don't forget to come back in the afternoon. After Wang Ziqing went back, he told his wife about the matter. Pay half of it first? That's good. Well, I can be more relaxed this way. By the way, I heard that the building in the county is being built very quickly, Wang Ziqing's wife said. Don't we still have 2 old houses in the village? We can just change the building. If it doesn't work, we can sell the building directly. Well, that's also a way. The people in the village wanted to sell the old houses in the village to live in the city. They wanted to use the houses in the city to exchange money to treat the old man. In the morning, Wang Yao decocted another medicine. Now, there were 2 people in the village who could be said to be terminally ill receiving his treatment. I'll see his situation in the afternoon and think about the next treatment plan. After lunch, Wang Yao came to the clinic early. At about 1 p.m., Wang Ziqing and his son came. The old man looked good. His face was ruddy and his eyes were bright. He didn't even look like he was sick. Could it be the final radiance of the setting sun? Wang Yao was shocked when he saw the color of Li Yundong's face. Originally, it was extremely abnormal for a person with this disease to have such a complexion. It would only appear like this in the final radiance of the setting sun when one was about to die. Uncle, please sit down. Wang Yao asked him to sit down and immediately checked him. Phew, I'm fine. After confirming that the old man's body didn't show signs of dying, he was secretly relieved. The old man's body was very good. It was better than he had imagined, which also confirmed a theory. A good mood helped the recovery of the disease, even if it was a bad disease. "Uncle, how have you been feeling recently?" "Good, very good," the old man said. "The day before yesterday, I went to the mountain to pick up a handful of grass," the old man happily said. "Well, how was your meal?" "I ate more than a few days ago," the old man said. "I slept well." "Your medicine is really useful." This kind of emotional change was the most obvious. There was a smile on his face, a happy smile. Contentment made one happy and the body fat. The disease in his body was still there, but it was very well suppressed. Wang Yao's medicine had a certain effect, but he felt that the biggest effect was on the old man himself. Chapter 568. This is the medicine. The way to take it is the same as before. You can come back after using it. Okay, the old man happily said. This mentality was very good. Wang Ziqing first sent his father home and asked Ho Fu to find an excuse to go out and come to the clinic. "Why are you back again?" "Well, I just want to ask, how is my father's illness?" Wang Ziqing asked. He didn't dare to ask in front of the old man. He was afraid that the old man would be suspicious. "It's better than when he came a few days ago." "Really?" Wang Ziqing also felt that his father's complexion had improved a lot in the past few days. "Well, it has a lot to do with his mood," Wang Yao said. "It's better than before." Wang Ziqing was happy. "Do you have anything else?" No, I'm leaving." Wang Ziqing left with a smile. The clinic was quiet again. How to use the medicine next? It was not only Wang Yilong but also Wen Wan. Ordinary medicine was definitely not enough. He needed to use licorice root. Lingshanji. He first thought of the medicine because of its special effect. It dispelled evil, removed evil, grew muscles, and stopped pain. What was evil? What was evil? A simple understanding was everything that was harmful to the human body. The muscles here were not just muscles but the body tissue of the human body. Wang Yilong's illness was not painful. Of course, it was painful. Wen Wan was also in pain. The medicine also had the effect of relieving pain. It could be said that the medicine was extraordinary. The medicine was suitable for both of them. Others were needed. What Wen Wan needed was to adjust the 5 internal organs, balance yin and yang, and restore the normal function of the organs. Wait. Wang Yao thought of the intermittent ointment. Since the success of the decoction, he had never used the medicine. Polygonum vine, Bajiatong, Filafing, and Guiyuan. Not to mention anything else, just the 4 spirit herbs alone was enough to tell that the medicinal power of this pill was extraordinary. One had to know that his life prolongation pill only used 5 spirit herbs. Try it? The medicine could make up for the deficiency. He looked at the dark green ointment in the medicine box. It could be applied externally or internally. The prescription of the medicine was given by the system. The price was also amazingly high. 1 dose of medicine cost 3 million yuan. If I don't use it all at once, there's no need to set a price, right? Wang Yao thought. Set the price according to quantity. Well, this reply surprised Wang Yao. This was the first time he had encountered something like this. Give it a try. Ever since the medicine was successfully decocted, he had never tried it. These days the wind was a little cold. It will be colder in the next few days. Wang Yao looked up at the sky. There were no patients in the afternoon, but an unexpected guest came. It was Wei Hai. You haven't been here for a while. Wang Yao smiled and made him a cup of tea. Well, something happened in Hike recently, Wei Hai said. The company is expanding. Didn't you let go? There was something I needed to do, but now I've handed it over to them. I've redistributed the company's shares, Wei Hai said. You were one of them. What? Wang Yao was stunned. Are you kidding? Just kidding. Wei Hai saw Wang Yao's expression and smiled. That's good. Wei Hai came to Lianshan County to look for Tian Yuantu. He had something to do. When he went home in the afternoon, he dropped by to chat with Wang Yao. After all, they hadn't seen each other for a while. I heard that General Manager's son bought a piece of land in Lianshan County because of you and invested in building a factory. I also heard that he is going to invest in Hike, Wei Hai said. Wang Yao just smiled after hearing that. It's just that he is in trouble now, Wei Hai said. Trouble? What kind of trouble? Wang Yao asked. Recently, he was named by a big shot in the province, Wei Hai said. As a businessman, the biggest taboo is to get too close to a politician. You may think that you're riding on someone powerful, but it's very likely that you'll be implicated if the other party falls from power. The great empire of wealth may also collapse along with it. This is what he's facing right now. With his financial resources, the people in the province can't do anything to him, right? Although Wang Yao often stayed in the mountain village and dealt with medical skills and herbs day and night, it didn't mean that he was an old monk in the mountains who didn't care about the outside world. He still understood and knew some things, such as the current situation of the Sun family. It was a huge wealth empire that involved a wide range of people. I'm not too sure about this. After all, it's just hearsay. Do you have anything to do tomorrow? Yes, why? It's just that we haven't gathered for a while. I want to invite you to hike. Invite them. I won't go. Let's talk about it another day. Wei Hai didn't leave until it was dark. Wang Yao also closed the door and hung the wooden sign on the clinic. He would go to Lianshan County tomorrow to attend his sister's engagement banquet. The next day, the sun was shining. Wang Yao went down the mountain early and drove his parents to Lianshan County. It was also the first time he met Du Mingyang's parents. Both of them looked very kind, healthy, and good. Not bad. Wang Yao secretly thought that the two of them had kind faces. As the saying went, the face was born from the heart. With such faces, they were mostly generous people. In this way, his sister would not be bullied after marrying Du Mingyang. After all, the relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law was a difficult proposition. Moreover, they were healthy and looked like they had a long life. There were many reasons for a long life, but Wang Yao thought the first one was the most important. What was the premise of a long life? It was a healthy body. A healthy body came from good living habits and positive emotions, which were very important. The engagement was actually very simple. The parents of both sides sat together, chatted, had a meal, and discussed the marriage of the two children. That was all. After lunch, they went to Du Mingyang's new house to have a look. In fact, his parents had already bought a house for him, but he liked this one. It was in a good location and had a large area, so he bought another one. After finishing these things, Wang Yao drove his parents back to the mountain village. Finally, you are going to get married, Zhang Xiuying said in the car. Mom, fortunately, my sister didn't hear it. Otherwise, I don't know what she would think. What can she think? It's just a matter of time, Zhang Xiuying said. Wang Yao could see that his parents were very happy today. It was less than 3 o'clock when he arrived home. After parking the car, he went to the clinic. In a courtyard in the mountain village, Professor Lu sat on a folding stool and smoked. From here, he could see the mountain in the distance. After 3 days, he had been tired, anxious, and sleepless at the beginning. Now, his heart was completely calm. He even faintly liked such a peaceful mountain village life. Cough, cough, cough. When Wan came out of the house in heavy clothes. Why did you come out? Professor Lu hurried forward to help her. It's too stuffy to lie on the Kong all the time. I came out to get some fresh air. Come and sit down. Professor Lu pulled a chair for her and sat down against the wall. The wind was blocked by the courtyard wall. At this time, the sun was very warm. It was very comfortable to bask in the sun. You can go back. Yurin is here, Wenwan said. It's okay. I invited the school and told my family. Professor Liu put out the cigarette in his hand. How do you feel? A little better than 2 days ago, Wenwan said. That's good. Wenwan looked at the man sitting next to her. It had been decades. One wrong step led to many wrong steps. They knew each other, and loved each other, but they could not be together. I don't deserve it, Wenwan said. You are a man of decades. Don't say such childish and emotional words, Professor Liu said with a smile. Where is Yurin? He is still young. He will be bored if he stays here all the time. I asked him to go out for a walk, Professor Liu said. It's hard for him, Wenwan said. He is not crying. It is a matter of course to be filial to your parent. You think too much. Thousands of miles away in Dali, Han Jiu was very anxious at this time. Doctor, can you take a closer look? I said that you have a skin disease. You need to be hospitalized, the doctor said seriously. It is not a skin disease. Are you the doctor or am I the doctor? Chapter 569. Of course you are, Han Jiu said. Listen to me, Wang Yao said. I'm not a doctor. I'm really busy. I don't have time to stay in the hospital, Han Jiu said. Take the medicine back and take it, Wang Yao said. Okay, Han Jiu said. In the end, the doctor gave him a lot of medicine. Some were anti-inflammatory, some were for relieving itching, some were for topical application, and some were for oral administration. Are you kidding me? What a quack. Han Jiu carried a big bag of medicine. The reason why his hand and arm were festering was because he had gone to the King of Medicine's place and helped the King of Medicine's disciple to treat his fourth brother. He had only helped his fourth brother up, so his hand was stained with some medicine. Before he left, the King of Medicine's disciple had told him not to worry about it. At that time, he didn't take it seriously. He only felt that his arms were cool and quite comfortable. However, before he returned, he felt that something was wrong on the way back. His hands and arms went from cool at first to itchy and slightly painful. Then, he gently scratched them a few times and the skin began to break. This gave him a fright. The situation became more serious after he came back. A layer of skin on his arm peeled off in one night. When he got up the next day, he only felt a burning pain. In one day, his arm began to fester. It wasn't just a skin problem. He had no choice but to go to the hospital. That was what had happened just now. After returning home, Han Xing hurriedly asked, "How is it?" "Nonsense, I didn't see anything. He gave me a lot of medicine. You know it's useless, but you still want it." I just want to try it. What if it works?" "If it works, it's not the medicine made by the king pharmacist," Han Xing said. "If you feel uncomfortable, you can go there and ask the king pharmacist to take a look." "I'm not going." Han Jiu hurriedly waved his hand. Last time, the king pharmacist was willing to see them because of the medicine provided by Wang Yao. It could be called a miracle medicine. This time, he went there empty-handed. He didn't know when he would see the king pharmacist again. Moreover, he was a little afraid of the old man. When he was with him, he felt like he was locked in a cage with a man-eating tiger. "Then what should we do?" "It's okay. I don't think the pain is that bad now. Maybe it will be fine in a while." Han Jiu waved his hand. "Well, if you can't help it, you should have said it earlier." "Got it," Han Jiu said. In a mountain village thousands of miles away, Li Xiu transported a cart of trees to the village. These were the trees that Wang Yao had ordered the last time he went to the nursery. This is only a part of it. There are still some that may take a little longer and need to be transported from the cities in the south. "No problem." Wang Yao looked at some of the trees. They were all very healthy. After checking the number of trees, he paid for them. To where? The foot of the mountain is fine. I'll take you there. Wang Yao led them to the foot of the mountain. The group of people unloaded the trees from the car. Where are you going to plant them? Let us help you move them up, Li Xiu said. After all, these trees were quite heavy. No need, I can do it myself, Wang Yao said. All right, I'll send the rest to you as soon as possible. Okay. After they left, Wang Yao looked at the trees. He carried one tree in each hand. It felt like he was carrying 2 balls of cotton. He was not affected at all. He quickly went up the mountain. After more than a dozen trips, the trees were moved to the top of the mountain. Wang Yao had already thought about where to plant the trees. He just hadn't dug a hole yet. That night, after dinner, he went to the top of the mountain early. He walked around Nanshan Hill at night. San Xian was right behind him. San Xian, let's plant trees tomorrow. Woof! San Xian barked. Perhaps there will be new changes to this mountain. Nothing happened that night. The next morning, Wang Yao got up early and ate something on the mountain. He had told his family that he would not go down the mountain today. He had something to do on the mountain. He took a shovel and a pick and went to the top of the mountain. The place where to plant the trees had already been chosen. It's starting. Wang Yao's strength and physique could not be measured by human standards. In fact, he did not need to use a shovel and a pick at all. He could easily dig a big hole on the mountain with his hands. Even the hard rock could be easily crushed by him. Soon, a tree hole was dug. I'll plant one here. Wang Yao held the tree with one hand. He waved his hand. An invisible force surged. The hole was filled with soil. San Xian, check if it's right. Woof, woof. Next moment. In the morning, dozens of trees had been planted on Nanshan Hill. It looked a little messy. There was a mystery behind it. At the foot of the mountain, 2 luxury cars arrived. 2 young men got out of the car. You said this is the place? The taller and stronger young man looked at the clinic. He seemed to be disdainful. Yes, this is the place. How can there be a good doctor in this shabby village? You haven't been cheated, have you? No. Okay, let's go in and have a look. Hey, what's going on here? The 2 young men came to the door and saw the wooden sign on it. He's not here. Did we come here for nothing? TSK, this is. The shorter young man looked and scratched his head. It's my fault. It's none of your business. He's not here. Let's go. Okay. Ah, hiss. The taller young man covered his stomach. His face suddenly became pale. What's wrong? No, I'm sick again. Hurry up and get me some medicine. He was shaking all over as he spoke. Okay, hold on for a while. The other young man hurried to the other man's car. He took out a bottle of medicine from the car and ran to the other man. He poured out a few pills and put them in the other man's mouth. A few minutes after he took the medicine, the painful expression on his face faded. Do you feel better? I'm fine, the tall and strong man said with a sigh of relief. This illness came so suddenly. Yes, the tall and strong man said. His illness was very strange. The key was that he had gone to many big hospitals, but none of them had a good treatment. He had heard that there was a young doctor here who had some skills, so he came to have a look. In fact, he had come with the attitude of trying to make a last resort. He did not have high expectations. Let's go back. Why don't we wait a little longer? No need. The tall and strong young man waved his hand. He was still a little scared from the pain just now. If the pain this time caused serious problems that had happened before in this small mountain village, no, in this small county, if he did not get timely and effective treatment, he was likely to lose his life. Let's go. As the 2 men were about to get into the car, they saw a few more cars driving over and stopping outside the clinic. A few people got out of the cars. They seemed to be in a hurry. In the middle car, a man was carrying a person. Is it here? Yes, it's here. Hey, why is Dr. Wang not here? What should we do? The man asked. Should we go to his house and look for him? No, the man said. Why? This is the rule he set. There is such a rule. The tall and strong young man was stunned. What should we do? Don't wait. Let's go to the county hospital quickly. The child can't wait. Yes, I told you to go to the hospital a long time ago, but you didn't listen, a woman said. She was so anxious that tears came out of her eyes. What's going on? The two young men looked at each other and then looked at the child behind them. As they were talking, they saw a person coming from the mountain road. Dr. Wang is here. Among these people, someone recognized Wang Yao and shouted happily. Wang Yao was called down by his mother. He originally thought that someone had come to his house again, so he was a little angry. After asking carefully, he found out that it was not the case. Zhang Xiuying had just come out to take out the garbage and saw the cars parked outside the clinic. She was also worried that someone was seriously ill, so she called her son. Dr. Wang, quickly take a look at the child. Come in and talk. Chapter 570. What's wrong with the child? Wang Yao said. I don't know what's going on. The fever won't go down. Look, there are wounds here. The adults who came with him carefully put the child on the hospital bed. They opened the child's arms and revealed 2 wounds the size of a needle. The wounds had turned purple. The child's body was very hot. He was in a coma. As soon as he saw the wounds, Wang Yao was stunned. He had a feeling of déjà vu because the wounds were familiar. He remembered it. At the very beginning, when Guo Jinghe was bitten, it seemed to be a wound like this, Wang Yao said. Being in a coma and having a high fever, the symptoms of this disease were basically the same. Wait a moment. After that, Wang Yao went out. A leaf of detoxification grass dissolved in the water. It was green like melted jade. He gave the child a bowl of detoxification water. After the medicine was administered, the child slowly began to wake up. This is amazing. That's great. The child's family was very happy. The 2 young people who came in to watch the fun saw the scene. Which village are you from? Li Family Ditch, the child's father said. Li Family Ditch? The one with a hot spring? Yes, Dr. Wang, if you want to go, just ask me, the man said. Where was the child bitten? Wang Yao said. The man misunderstood. Well, on the hill. Can you be more specific? Wang Yao said. It's hard to say. I have to wait until he gets better and ask him, the child's father said. Okay, remember to tell me when the time comes. Oh, okay. Doctor, how much does it cost? 10,000 yuan. How much? The family was stunned. The 2 young people who came in to watch the fun were also stunned. What medicine is so expensive? Yes, young man, you are robbing a burning house. The child's family was unhappy. Before coming, they only knew that the young people in the mountain village had superb medical skills. They didn't expect there to be such a place. For a moment, the original grateful and harmonious atmosphere completely disappeared. It's my fault, Wang Yao said. She was so focused on saving the child that she forgot to tell them the price of the medicine. Spirit herbs were rare items that couldn't be measured with money. Too expensive. How much do you think your child's life is worth? To tell you the truth, I've treated this disease before. At that time, this medicine cost at least 100,000 yuan. Wang Yao's words were shocking. Everyone in the room was stunned when they heard this. F***ck, isn't this money too fast? We didn't bring that much money, the child's father said angrily. He felt that the young man in front of him was asking for a sky-high price. It was just a bowl of potion. How could it cost so much? Wang Yao laughed. He prescribed the medicine according to the person. If the medicine was from a kind person he was familiar with, such as Wang Fengming in the village, he wouldn't ask for a penny. However, these people came for the child in 3 cars. 2 of them were more than 200,000 yuan. They had money to buy cars, but they didn't have money to buy medicine? They all knew that medicine was expensive, but they didn't know that life-saving medicine was also very expensive. I only have 300 yuan with me. The man took out 300 yuan from his pocket and threw it on the table. In his opinion, the money was too much. Really, how can a young man be so evil? The old woman in her 60s said. The family left angrily, as if they had been wronged by coming to see a doctor. In order to see the child, the family, parents, uncle, and grandparents had all come. It seemed that the child was quite expensive. Wang Yao didn't stop them. Instead, he remembered all their faces. In the future, none of them could come to see a doctor. There were only 2 young people left in the room. They looked at Wang Yao. What can I do for you? Wang Yao looked at the 2 young people who hadn't left. Tell me about it, the shorter young man said. Well, I have a stomachache. It's a habitual stomachache. When it hurts, I roll on the ground, the tall young man said. Stomachache? Sit down and let me take a look. After Wang Yao checked his pulse, he was very surprised. When did you get sick? Well, about 4 years ago, the young man said. For 4 years, your body shape has always been like this. Haven't you lost weight? Wang Yao said. No, the young man said. Strange. Wang Yao thought. You have had surgery before, right? More than once? Yes, I have. I had a minimally invasive surgery. After the surgery, the disease came back again? Yes, the young man said. You have a sarcoma in your abdomen, but it is benign and still growing. Yes, the young man said. He had this strange disease. A benign tumor in his abdomen grew in the same place. Every time it was removed, it would grow again. He had had 2 minimally invasive surgeries. He had received treatment in Jing. The specialists there didn't understand what was going on. The interval between the recurrence was too short. Surgery, even minimally invasive surgery, was a kind of trauma to the body. Moreover, he was a patient. When he checked his pulse, he found that his qi and blood were extraordinarily strong. Therefore, his body was so strong. Wang Yao couldn't figure it out. What do you like to eat? Well, I eat everything, the young man said. I like to eat meat. What about your habits? I like to exercise, especially basketball. Well, I'll prescribe a medicine for you. Come and go at this time tomorrow, Wang Yao said. Okay, the young man said. Let me say this first. The price of this medicine is very cheap. You saw what happened just now. I can't afford it, the young man said with a smile. The medicine may cost more than 10,000 yuan. No problem, the tall young man said. That's good. He might need to use medium-grade magic herbs for the medicine. It was not as simple as the leaf of detoxification grass. The 2 young men left. You don't believe him, do you? Didn't you bring me here? Besides, I saw the child's condition just now. He should be a person with real ability. Besides, the monk can run away, but the temple can't run away. If the money doesn't work, his medical center is still here, isn't it? His home is also here. What are you afraid of? You're right. But 10,000 yuan for a medicine, this is the first time I've heard of it, the tall young man said. It's a very strange disease. After the 2 young men left, Wang Yao was thinking about the illness of the young man. Logically speaking, people who were ill usually suffered from qi and blood exhaustion, especially those who had undergone surgery. However, this young man had undergone several surgeries in the past few years. Moreover, during this period of time, he was troubled by the illness. Yet, his body did not seem to have lost weight. It was a strange thing. Putting this aside, Wang Yao thought about how to remove the sarcomas in the young man's body. Among the licorice roots that Wang Yao had planted, there were 2 that could have the effect of removing the sarcomas. Pear grass could remove ulcers. Sijan could remove the sarcomas. Which one should I use? Considering the situation of the young man, he decided to use Xijan as the main herb. He would supplement it with other common herbs to see how effective it was. In a clinic in Lianshan County, Pan Jun was massaging the shoulders of an old man. The old man's shoulders hurt. It was an old problem. The effect of medicine and injections was not very good. "How do you feel?" "Well, I'm fine," the old man replied. He was considered a regular customer of the clinic. If his family members had a headache or a cold, he would come here to see them. His home was close to the clinic, and Pan May's clinic had a good reputation. After the massage, the old man moved his shoulders after a while. "Well, it doesn't hurt anymore. Good job," the old man praised. "Why haven't I seen you massage people before?" "I just learned," Pan Jun replied with a smile. "Really? I'll come here often in the future." "No problem," Pan Jun replied with a smile. The old man paid the money and left. "How is it, sis? Is this what you learned from Wang Yao?" Pan Mei asked. "Yes, I just learned a little bit." "No, I didn't even learn a little bit," Pan Jun replied. "Oh, you are quite modest." "It's true. The more I interact with Master, the more I feel that he knows a lot, especially in terms of medical skills. It's really admirable." Chapter 571. You should learn more from him. "Don't look down on him just because he is young," Pan Mei said. "Of course not," Pan Jun said. "To be honest, when I first met him, I did have such thoughts," Pan Jun said. "Because he was too young, I couldn't help but judge people by their appearance. Now I really don't have any more thoughts. I'm completely convinced that there are geniuses in this world. Since he is willing to teach you, you should learn more. I think he is quite good at pulse reading," Pan Mei said. "Pulse reading, prescription, massage, acupuncture, he is proficient in all of them," Pan Jun said. "But what I want to learn most now is massage." "Don't bite off more than you can chew," Pan Jun said with a smile. "You should learn more in the future if you have the chance." "Okay," Pan Jun said. He also had the same idea. In the beginning, he only wanted to learn massage, but gradually changed his mind. He wanted to learn more, but he was also a person who was content. After all, a person's energy was limited. He wanted to learn as much as he could. Of course, the premise was that Wang Yao was willing to teach. In the mountain village, have all the patients left? While eating, Zhang Xiuying asked about what had happened in the morning. "They have all left. I saw that they were very anxious. It seems that one of the children is sick." "There is no problem for the time being," Wang Yao said. He didn't want to mention these people, but he didn't say it out loud. He didn't want his family to worry about some things. "That's good." After lunch, Wang Yao didn't go to the clinic. Instead, he went to Nanshan Hill. On the hill, dozens of trees had been planted. Next, they needed to be watered. Wang Yao watered the trees with diluted ancient spring water, but the amount was limited. He then changed the course of the spring water flowing down from the top of the hill. He dug a thin ditch and let the spring water flow to the trees for natural watering. San Xian happily followed beside him. "San Xian, do you feel that the hill under our feet seems to have grown a little higher?" Wang Yao looked at the west hill next to him. He always felt that it seemed to be a little shorter than usual. "Woof, woof." San Xian barked and scratched under his feet. "What do you mean?" Wang Yao was stunned. "Woof woof. Are you saying the mountain is moving?" "Woof." Hiss. Wang Yao took a deep breath after hearing that. Then, he sat down and calmed himself down. He released his inner breath and communicated with the heavens and the earth. The aura of this world was very thick. Wang Yao could feel the slight difference in the ground beneath him. The aura seemed to have become thicker, which proved that the mountain beneath him was indeed changing. Then, he went to the nearby East Mountain and found that this hill did not have the same feeling as Nanshan Hill. It was the same for the adjacent West Mountain. Thus, he was sure that Nanshan Hill was the only one that had some kind of change. Could it be that they really grow taller like humans? This is a little surreal. He was very surprised. Wang Yao walked around the mountain, trying to find a reference point to determine if the mountain was really growing. However, he couldn't find a suitable reference point after looking for a while. In the end, he could only use the nearby East Mountain and West Mountain as a reference. By the middle of March, the weather had obviously become warmer and the days had become longer. The people in the village were willing to stand on the street and chat after eating. During this period of time, they had been talking about the half-completed building in the county town. I heard that it will be almost finished by May 1st, Wang Yao said. Then we can go and choose a house. Well, my son's girlfriend has been asking about the house recently, Wang Yao said. I was still having a headache about it last year. It's not like you don't know the children nowadays. They won't get married if they don't have a house. This is just right. Why haven't I seen Mr. Sun come recently? Yes, will there be any problems with this? No, the contract has been signed. Nearly half of the people in the village were willing to exchange their current house for the building in the city. This proportion was very large, which meant that once the building was built, nearly half of the houses in the village would be empty in a few years. Among them, a considerable portion of the houses were old houses in the village. This number was more than half. Many families in the village had two houses, one old and one new. The new house was usually used for the son's marriage. Hey, isn't that Yao? Let's ask him. Just then, they saw Wang Yao coming down from the mountain. They stopped him and asked him about the matter. Well, since the contract has been signed, it is legally binding. There is no problem, Wang Yao said. Well, that's good. When Wang Yao walked to the entrance of his alley, he saw a tired man riding a motorcycle from the north of the village. He was a little dusty. Phew. Wang Ziqing was very tired. He was busy in the factory during the day. He had to go to another small individual processing factory in town to work for 3 hours. This had continued for more than a month. He had never lived like this before. He was so tired, but he felt it was worth it. You just came back? When they met, Wang Yao took the initiative to greet him. The change in mentality and attitude had made him a different person. Wang Yao's attitude toward him had also changed. Yes, I just came back. Take care of your body. Don't be too tired, Wang Yao said. It didn't even need to be a professional. Anyone with a bit of eyesight would be able to see his situation. As the saying goes, overwork leads to illness. When a person's body was overworked and tired, it was easy to lead to the invasion of external evil. Oh, I see. After that, he rode his motorcycle home. In the evening, when Wang Yao came out of his home, it was already 9:30 p.m. He saw Wang Ziqing. Yes. Are you going up the mountain? Wang Ziqing stopped his motorcycle and greeted him. Where are you going? I found a job. I work for 2 to 3 hours at night, Wang Ziqing said with a smile. He was so tired, but he felt a sense of fulfillment. Go back and rest, Wang Yao said after a moment of silence. Oh, I'm leaving. This change is amazing. It seemed very ordinary and normal for a man to be tired to support his family. In fact, it was not easy. It was quiet on Nanshan Hill. Radix astragalus, Cotinopsis palacula, bone-penetrating grass, glossy Ganoderma, white peony pear grass, Sijan, Chongyang, Guyuan. This was the prescription Wang Yao prepared for Mr. Wu. There were 4 licorice roots in it, which was second only to the prolongation pill. Therefore, the effect was so obvious. Even though Mr. Wu's condition had deteriorated to such an extent, it was still able to keep him alive. Use this prescription to change it, Wang Yao said. He was going to use this prescription to treat the disease of the young man he saw in the morning. He also had sarcomas in his body, but they were benign. Just use Sijan, and replace Guyuan with licorice. Wang Yao slightly changed the prescription. As for the effect, it depends on the actual situation after taking the medicine. The medicine was ready-made. Xijan also had some. Wang Yao boiled the medicine at night. At the beginning, when he boiled the medicine, he would consider the time. At this moment, with the help of the spirit-gathering battle array, these things were appropriate to be ignored. There was not too much firewood left. Originally, after the spirit-gathering battle array was successfully set up, a large amount of spirit between heaven and earth was concentrated in this part of the world. It affected not only this small part of the world, but also the places near Nanshan Hill were affected. The trees and flowers here grew very fast. There were very few dead trees. It took some effort to find firewood. Well, we can buy some, Wang Yao said. Gurgle, gurgle. The medicine in the multifunctional pot for herbs was stable and boiling. A few herbs were added in one by one. The medicine dissolved into the decoction. The color of the decoction slowly darkened. It's done. After the decoction was successfully boiled, Wang Yao let it cool down for a while. He put it in a porcelain bottle. He turned off the light and went to sleep. The night was quiet. Only the gentle sound of the wind could be heard. The dog suddenly stood up from the kennel. Flap. The goshawk standing on the branch flapped its wings a few times. Rustle. Rustle. In the grass, a black body coiled up. Wang Yao suddenly sat up from the bed. What's going on just now? Just now, he seemed to feel that the aura around his body seemed to fluctuate violently. Given his current situation, he was very sensitive to such changes even in his sleep. Chapter 572. But when he woke up, this feeling had disappeared. It came quickly and left quickly. Is it just my imagination? Wang Yao thought. He went to the herbal field. The dog came out of the kennel and came to him. San Xian, did you find anything unusual just now? Woof, 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 woof. The dog scratched the ground with its paws. Mountain. Wang Yao closed his eyes and released his neishi. The qi between heaven and earth was too strong in the spirit-gathering battle array. He couldn't feel the subtle changes. He had to go out. He went to the top of the mountain again and felt it carefully. There was nothing unusual. It's really strange. Since he had gotten up, Wang Yao was not in a hurry to go back to rest. Instead, he walked around the mountain to see if he found anything unusual. Then, he went to sleep. The next day, the weather was gloomy. At 9 o'clock in the morning, it started to drizzle, followed by rolling thunder. Spring rain was as precious as oil. Wang Yao stayed in the clinic alone. There were no patients, so he made a cup of tea and quietly read a medical book. At about 10 a.m., a car drove into the mountain village and stopped outside the clinic. Two young men got out of the car. It's raining today, the young man said. It's good that it's raining. Spring rain is as precious as oil. Nonsense, the young man said. I don't know if the doctor is lying. The two men came to the door of the clinic and knocked on it. Please come in. A voice came from outside and entered their ears. It was very clear. What the hell? The two men were stunned. The voice and the feeling were as if they had seen a ghost in broad daylight. They pushed the door and entered. There was no one behind the door or in the yard. When they entered the room, they found Wang Yao sitting in the room with a book and a cup of tea on the table. Doctor, were you sitting here just now? Yes, what's wrong? Nothing, the young man said. Medicine. Wang Yao put the decoction on the table, along with the method of taking it and precautions. Come back in 3 days. How much? 100,000. How much? Even though they were mentally prepared, the tall young man and his companion were still stunned. What is it? A bottle of medicine is so expensive. Is it expensive? How much does 100-year-old ginseng cost? Wang Yao asked. This century-old ginseng? The tall and strong young man was stunned. If that was the case, then the medicine was not expensive at all. I'll pay. After thinking for a while, the young man paid the money decisively. Bank transfer was very convenient. If there's nothing else, you can leave now. Okay, thank you. The two young men took the medicine and left. Damn, a bottle of medicine costs 100,000 yuan. Even gold isn't that expensive, right? If what he said is true, and the medicine used 100-year-old ginseng, it is indeed worth the money, the tall young man said. He knew the price of ginseng of that age. It's too easy to earn money. Besides, how do you know if he's telling the truth? That's easy. We'll know once we try. If he dares to lie to me, I guarantee that he'll regret his life. Hey, what's the matter with that sound just now? Either he's pretending to be a ghost, or he really has the ability. Rumble. Thunder rumbled in the sky. It's thunder in spring, the tall young man said. It's spring thunder. After a day of rain, no other patients came except for the two young men. Wang Yao quietly read medical books in the clinic for the whole day. It was not until the afternoon. Because of the rain and cloudy sky, it was late. It was earlier than usual. It's time to go home for dinner. It was also raining in Dali, which was thousands of miles away. It was the same spring rain, but it was more dense. I'm hungry, the man who was wrapped in gauze said in a hoarse voice. He was the fourth son of the Han family. Since he had received 2 treatments from the king pharmacist, his body had improved significantly. At least, he could now open his mouth to speak. In the past, it had been like purgatory torture. Hungry? Wait a moment. I'll arrange for someone to cook for you, Han Xing hurriedly said. How do you feel? My body is itchy, the fourth son of the Han family, who was lying on the bed, said. Itching is a good thing. It means the tissue is growing, Han Xing hurriedly said to comfort his brother. I'm sorry to make you worry, Han Xing said. We're brothers. Don't say that again, Han Xing said. As the two brothers were talking, Han Jiu came in from outside. Is your arm better? Han Xing asked. Yes, it still hurts a little, Han Jiu said. His skin, which had festered a few days ago, had almost recovered. It was just that he had shed a layer of skin. He didn't get any injections or take any medicine. Moreover, he realized that the scar on his arm had disappeared after this injury. The king pharmacist's medicine is really good. Of course, it has been famous in Nanjiang for decades, Han Xing said. You've seen the scene when I begged him to treat me, Han Xing said. Brother is hungry. I've arranged for someone to cook for him. You stay here with him. I have something to do outside. Okay, Han Xing said. Seeing that their brother had begun to get better, the 3 Han family members were very happy. Brother, how did you get such a strange disease? I was plotted against, Han Xing said. Han Xing's words were shocking. In the mountain village of Lianshan County, when Wan coughed nonstop on the Kong bed. Mom! I'm fine. She did not have much strength to speak. It's almost finished. I'll ask Dr. Wang to come and have a look. It's already dark. Forget it. Take a 9 herbs pill first. Hey, you have to tell him if you have something to say, her son said worriedly. It's fine. I can make it through tonight. When Wan smiled, she did not even have the strength to smile now. The young man did not say anything. His eyes were full of worry. On a rainy night on Nanshan Hill, the lights went out early. Rumble. Occasionally, there would be the sound of thunder rolling across the sky. The next morning, Mom, what's wrong with you, Mom? The young man found that his mother had fainted. No matter how he called her, she did not respond. He suddenly became anxious. What's wrong? Professor Lu heard the shout and rushed over. As soon as he saw the situation, he did not say anything and went to find Wang Yao behind Wan's back. At this time, Wang Yao was still on Nanshan Hill. After receiving a call from Professor Lu, he quickly went down the hill. How could this be? Seeing the unconscious Wan, he knew something bad was going to happen just by looking at her complexion. There was sweat on her face like oil. Her sweat was like oil. There was no pulse. This was a disease of imminent death. Wang Yao hurriedly transferred a stream of nashi into her body. No. He hurriedly took out the small porcelain bottle. A pill rolled out of the bottle. Immediately, a unique medicinal fragrance spread out. Prolongation pill. The medicine was as its name suggested. Take it for her. After taking the pill, the effect was very obvious. When Wan woke up, "Mom!" "Ah!" the young man cried. The corners of Professor Lu's eyes were also full of tears. "Dr. Wang, what do you think?" "Put her down," Wang Yao said. They put Wan on the hospital bed. Wang Yao took out the intermittent ointment. Then, he carefully scooped out a small spoonful and dissolved it in ancient spring water. "Give it to her again." Originally, he wanted to wait. He did not expect Wan to suddenly deteriorate like this. He had to use the ointment. 1 spoonful, 200,000 yuan. This was the price given by the system. Then, he just had to wait. Wang Yao checked her pulse every half an hour. The combination of the two medicines was beyond his imagination. Not only did the life and death change, but the disappeared pulse had reappeared and gradually became stronger. "Okay, take her back," Wang Yao said. "Dr. Wang, this medicine, it's priceless." "I can't make this medicine in a short time," Wang Yao said. He knew what Professor Lu meant. However, these two medicines were too precious. He could not give them away easily. "Okay, I see. Thank you." The young man carried Wan and Professor Lu out of the clinic. "Professor Lu, it would be great if we could ask you for the pill just now," Wan's son said. "You heard Dr. Wang's phone call," Professor Lu said helplessly. As long as Wang Yao asked, he would find a way to raise money, no matter how much money Wang Yao offered. However, Wang Yao did not want to take the medicine out. Chapter 573. Sigh. When Wan sighed. "Why don't I just give up and end everything?" This was what Wan thought. It was not a good thing to be determined to die. In a quaint courtyard in Jing City, thousands of miles away. "How is Zhou?" Chen Ying asked the old man in front of her. "Very good. He is very stable," Chen Zhouchuan said with a smile. "Are you going to leave Jing City tomorrow?" "Yes, I have already told my wife," Chen Ying said. She was going to take her brother to Wang Yao's village tomorrow to completely cure her brother's illness. She had specially asked Song Ruiping for a long leave. "I don't have anything to do. I just want to walk around. How about I go with you?" I knew there must be a reason for him to take the initiative to come here today, Chen Ying thought. Why would someone who could not be invited suddenly take the initiative to come here and take the initiative to treat Chen Zhou? "It's up to you," Chen Ying said. "Haha, that's settled. I will go with you tomorrow." Chen Zhouchuan left with a smile. "We, the people, are so happy today. Sister, this is Dr. Chen?" Chen Zhou looked at the old man who left happily. "Old fox," Chen Ying said with a smile. "Let's go. We need to prepare well. We will leave tomorrow." "Okay." Chen Zhouchuan hummed a tune as he walked home. "Hey, stupid chess player, what are you so happy about?" Li Xingrong walked over from the opposite side with a birdcage. "It's none of your business. Just walk your bird." "Hey, you are quite hot-tempered. Let's go." Chen Zhouchuan turned and walked away. It seemed he did not want to talk to him. This old man. Li Xingrong shook his head helplessly. He knew his old friend was still angry with him because of what had happened last time. Forget it. The next day, the sun was shining brightly. In the afternoon, Chen Ying and her brother arrived in Hai. They did not stay for a moment. They took a car directly to the village. Dr. Chen, who had agreed to come with them yesterday, did not come with them because he was delayed by something. The brother and sister were naturally very happy after hearing this. What a pity. It is a rare opportunity. Chen Zhochuan was a little annoyed. By the time the siblings arrived at the mountain village, it was already dark. There is no hotel in the village, right? Let's go see Sir first, Chening said. Sir. You're here. Have a seat. Wang Yao smiled as he made tea for them. Have you been busy lately? Fortunately, I'm not busy, Chening said. Little Zhou's illness didn't act up, right? No, it's very stable. Do you still dream a lot at night? A lot less. Ever since Chen Zhou took the medicine, his nighttime dreams had decreased significantly. That's good. Wang Yao checked him again. There was no problem. I'm fine. Sir, we plan to stay here for a while until Xiao Zhou recovers, Chening said. That's good. Sir, is there anyone who rents a house in this village? Another person who wanted to rent a house. Let me ask around for you. All right. Wang Yao directly called his father and asked about this matter. You don't say. There really is. That's great. Soon, the people who wanted to rent a house came. They had 2 houses in the mountain village, but one of them had already signed a contract. After the building in the city was built, it would no longer belong to them. Now they could still rent it out. It was a good time to make some money. The house was clean. This time, Chen Ying and Chen Zhou were well prepared. They also brought bedding and other things. There were 3 big suitcases. They were prepared for a long-term trip. After paying 2 months' rent in advance, they moved in. I haven't been so far away in a long time, Chen Zhou said. He was very happy to leave Jing to see a doctor. He treated it as a trip. As long as you're happy. Are you here to see a doctor again? Wang Fenghua asked after dinner. Yes. What's the illness? That young man. It's not very good here. Wang Yao pointed at his head. A tumor? No, it's a mental illness. I think he's quite a good child. Wang Fenghua was surprised. He's fine now. He hasn't had a relapse for nearly a month. No, it's been longer than you, Wang Yao said. Really? It's intermittent. Zhang Xiuying used such a word. Sort of. The night in the mountain village was quieter than outside. In the evening, Chen Zhou sat alone in the yard quietly looking at the night sky. The night sky here was much higher than the night sky in Jing. Sis, do you think Dr. Wang likes to live in such an environment because it's particularly quiet here? Chen Zhou asked. That's just one of the reasons, Chen Ying said with a smile. What else is there? It's also because of a mountain, Chen Ying said. She had been to the mountain before. She had never seen such a mountain. Now that she thought about it, the mountain seemed to have a spirit. Yes, that was the word. Can you take me to have a look tomorrow? Only from afar, Chen Ying said. Okay. That night, the siblings slept very soundly. Perhaps it was because they were tired from running around all day. Perhaps it was because they were mentally relaxed. Perhaps it was because the mountain village was really too quiet. However, in another house there were some people who stayed up all night. Professor Liu and Wen Wan's son were like that. What happened during the day really frightened them. They saw that she was about to die. Although Wang Yao successfully pulled her back from the brink of death with 2 kinds of miraculous medicine, according to her current situation, she could go back at any time. In other words, she might fall asleep all of a sudden and never wake up again. Therefore, the 2 of them didn't dare to sleep. However, when Wan slept a few times, "You 2 go to sleep." Looking at the 2 of them, she said weakly, "I'll be fine tonight. Mom, go to sleep. We'll sleep in a while," her son said with a smile. "Okay." Professor Liu nodded. I'm really fine. I feel much better after taking the medicine," Wen Wan said. "You feel much better. Take a rest." Wen Wan saw that she couldn't persuade the 2 of them, so she closed her eyes and took a rest. She was really tired. She had just walked around the brink of death during the day. It was as if she had a strange dream. After waking up, she was extremely tired. However, the two kinds of medicine were really amazing. Except for the mental fatigue, the physical discomfort was greatly reduced. She also felt that her body was warm. This kind of warmth was from the inside to the outside, including her internal organs, limbs, and bones. Gradually, she fell asleep. Her breathing was still stable. "Uncle, I'll stay here. You go to sleep." "Are you okay?" Professor Liu was still worried. "I'm fine. I'll call you if there's a problem," the young man said. "Okay, I'll sleep for a while. I'll come and take over for you later." "No, you don't have to. Go to sleep." Professor Liu went to sleep in another room. The young man stayed by his mother's side. After less than 2 hours, Professor Liu came over. "Come on, I'll take over for you. You go to sleep." "I'm really fine. You should sleep," the young man said. "It hasn't been long. How can you stand it? Be good." "Okay." In the end, he couldn't persuade the old man. He had to go to sleep for a while. Just like that, the two of them took turns to look after Wenwan. That night, Wenwan slept well. The next day, she looked a little better. "Hey, you two didn't sleep well last night." Wenwan felt sorry for the two of them. "I'm fine. Go to sleep now." "Okay." Seeing that she was fine, the two of them were relieved. Professor Liu fell asleep. He was too tired. After all, he was old. His energy was limited. He couldn't be compared to young people. In another courtyard, after Chen Ying and Chen Zhou woke up, they ate something and then went out of the house. They were going to walk around the mountain village. In the early morning, the air in the mountain village was particularly clear. It was comfortable to smell. "It's so fresh." The two of them walked slowly. Before they knew it, they were on the mountain road. "I'll show you Dr. Wang's mountain." "Okay." Although it was already spring, the surrounding mountains and fields were still bleak. After turning around a mountain peak, a mountain appeared in front of them. The mountain was lush and full of life. Chapter 574. What? Chernzhou, who saw such a scene for the first time, was naturally surprised. "How is it?" "It's a miracle." "Ha ha." Chen Ying smiled. "Let's just have a look here. We can't go up the mountain." "Okay." The two of them stood at the foot of the mountain, quietly looking at the quiet Nanshan Hill. "Why does this mountain look more and more majestic?" Chen Zhou asked. "Is it just my illusion?" "No, I think so too," Chen Ying said. "She didn't have this feeling the last time she came here. In other words, she hadn't observed it carefully." "Sister, why don't we buy a house here and live here in the future?" Chen Zhou suddenly asked. Chen Ying was stunned. "Do you like it?" "Yes." "Let me think about it." Then, she acted. "What do you mean by buying a house again?" Wang Jianli was a little surprised to hear the news. It was a person from Jing. What happened to these people? Was this village really so good? "Sorry to trouble you." Chen Ying gave him a red packet. She was in Jing, so she knew this kind of thing. "Well, wait a minute," Wang Jianli said. He was not in a hurry to agree. If it had been in the past, it would have been easy to deal with because many houses in the mountain village were unoccupied. But now, most of the unoccupied houses had been used by the villagers to exchange for houses in the city. "Sorry." Chen Ying was a little surprised by the answer. "I can pay you more." That's not the reason. With Wang Jianli's explanation, Chen Ying learned that most of the empty houses in the village had been taken. "His surname is Sun?" "Yes." "Sun Yunxing?" "Yes, his name is Sun Yunxing." Chen Ying knew this person. "Thank you." In the clinic, Wang Yao was a little surprised to hear that Chen Ying wanted to buy a house here. "Well, I'll help you ask." He knew that most of the empty houses in the village would be the property of the Sun family. "Sir." On the other end of the phone, Sun Yunxing was very happy to receive a call from Wang Yao said, although he was not in the mountain village at this time. "House? Someone wants to buy it?" "No problem," Sun Yunxing hurriedly said. Their Sun family had a big business. They didn't even care about the dozens of houses in that mountain village. It was all because they wanted to build a good relationship with Wang Yao. Thank you. You're too polite, Sun Yunxing said. He'll be back in a few days. Let's talk to him then. Okay, thank you, Qining said. You don't have to be so polite. When it was close to noon, Li Xiu transported another truck of trees and placed them at the foot of the mountain. In the afternoon, the clinic was closed. Wang Yao moved the trees to the mountain and began to dig a hole. He was very fast and did not stop until the sky was dark. The next day, early in the morning, a man and a dog began to get busy on the mountain. He had already chosen the location to plant the trees. These trees were planted very quickly. The key was that Wang Yao was no longer human. Wang Yao was no longer human. Bite it, yes. Take a look and see if it's right or not. The man and the dog cooperated very well on the mountain. Soon, there were dozens of more trees on the mountain. This time, the trees he wanted were all more than 3 years old. At this time, most of them were sold from the south. Coupled with the effect of the climate and the mountain spring water on Nanshan Hill, the trees planted almost changed almost every day. I don't want to criticize you, but how can you believe such a thing? The young man who spent 100,000 yuan to buy the medicine from Wang Yao went home and told his parents the news. He was scolded by his parents. 100,000 yuan for a dose of medicine? What do you think it is? A magic pill? Mom, aren't the high-end cosmetics you bought very expensive? They cost tens of thousands a set, the tall young man said. That's different. They are worth that price. How do you know the medicine is not worth this family's money? Hey, you're talking back to me. His mother was not very happy after hearing that. Well, since you have already bought it, you can try it. What if it really works? The young man's father said. It will be strange if it works, the tall young man said. The tall and strong young man didn't argue with his mother anymore. He took the medicine back to his room. He had already taken the medicine once. After he left Wang Yao's place, he took a sip after he got in the car. After he drank it, his abdomen felt warm. This kind of heat slowly spread throughout his body and didn't dissipate for a long time. This feeling made him feel very strange. At the same time, he had some kind of expectation for this medicine, which led to the quarrel with his mother just now. I hope it works. He had been tortured by the disease. Every time he had an attack, his stomach hurt terribly. He felt as if there was a mouse running around in his stomach. It could not be cured. Now, he was really putting some hope on the medicine. In the provincial capital, Dad. Why are you here? I have something to trouble you with. What is it? Su Xiaoxue. Guo Jinghe poured a cup of tea for his father. I will go back to Jing next week. Guo Songzhao took a sip of tea. He understood what his child meant. He had also heard his wife mention it. Okay. Put more effort into your work, Guo Songzhao said. After all, external forces are external forces. You have to be strong yourself to forge iron. He had high hopes for his son, but he was a little worried about the news he had received recently. On the road, yin and yang came one after another. However, overt schemes were more important than conspiracies. His son seemed to like conspiracies. I want to go to another place this time. Where is it? Guo Songzhao asked. Dao, Guo Jinghe said with a smile. A day later, in Dao, Mr. Guo, you are a rare guest. Please have a seat. Sun Jingrong valued Guo Songzhao very much. Not to mention other things, his father was now the second most important person in the province. Uncle Sun, I have something to trouble you with this time, Guo Jinghe said very respectfully. It was the attitude of a junior to an elder. Speak, what is it? Sun Jingrong asked. You know the county I am in, Guo Jinghe said. It is a famous poor place. So, I want to attract investment. I see. Sun Jingrong understood Guo Songzhao's intention. Well, give me a copy of the situation in your county. I will take a look and hold a board meeting as soon as possible to decide on this matter. Oh, okay, thank you for your trouble. You are welcome. How is Yunxing? Sun Jingrong asked. Good, he has something to do outside, Sun Jingrong said. Hiss. Sun Jingrong's brows furrowed slightly after he saw the young master off. What is this young master's intention? As far as he knew, Guosong Zhao had almost never come to Qi province since he entered the officialdom. It was precisely because his father was a governor that he did not come to Qi province to avoid arousing suspicion. However, he had come to Dao this time and had come to Sun Jingrong for a project. With his identity, as long as he asked for it, there should be no shortage of projects. What are you trying to do? After leaving Dao, Guo Zhenghe did not rush back. Instead, he continued to go west and came to Lianshan County. He went to the small mountain village. After seeing the exquisite building in the village, he was slightly surprised. When did such an exquisite building appear here? He stood outside the medical center and looked at it for a while. Not bad, it is really not bad. He knocked on the door. Come in, please. A voice came from outside. It was a very exquisite small courtyard. Looking at the courtyard that already had some spring scenery, he felt very comfortable after entering. Hello, Dr. Wang, Guo Songzhao said. Hey, it's you. He was very surprised to see Guo Zhenghe. I set off from here, so I came to see you on the way. Guo Zhenghe put down the things in his hands. You are too polite, Guo Songzhao said. I don't need these. Well, it is just a small token of my appreciation. After all, you have saved my life, Guo Zhenghe said. Your house is very beautiful, Guo Zhenghe praised. Thank you. They sat down and chatted for a while. Are you not married yet? Guo Zhenghe suddenly asked. No, Wang Yao replied with a smile. When are you getting married? Don't forget to invite me to your wedding banquet. Okay. These were all polite words. After staying in the clinic for about 10 minutes, Guo Songzhao got up and said goodbye. What are you doing here? The words you said are not important. Did you really just drop by? Chapter 575. Since he had learned the method of inspection, he had learned to read people's faces by analogy. As his medical skills improved, his ability to read people's faces became better and better. For example, young Master Guo just now, he looked bright and sunny, and from his appearance, he seemed to be masculine, but in fact, he was a feminine person. This kind of person was generally the black-bellied type, and was very scheming. Maybe I'm thinking too much, he thought. Guo Zhenghe walked on the road of the mountain village. He did not walk very fast. As he walked, he looked at the small mountain village. His face was full of smiles, as bright as the sun. When he met the villagers, he nodded with a smile and even greeted them loudly. Where did this young man come from? He is polite and handsome. The villagers who had seen him had a good first impression of him. Therefore, appearance was important. When Chen Ying reached the entrance of the alley, she saw Guo Zhenghe smiling, but he did not see her. What is he doing here? Seeing him get into the car and watch him drive away, Chen Ying thought for a moment and went to the clinic. What's the matter? Sir, did Guo Zhenghe just come? Yes, he did. Did you see him? I saw him. What is he doing here? I don't mean anything else. It's okay. Wang Yao waved his hand with a smile. He really didn't come here for anything. He just dropped by to see me. Did he really say that? Yes, why? Wang Yao said. Nothing, sir, I just wanted to say a few words. I don't want to talk about people behind their back. This Mr. Guo is very scheming, Chen Ying said. Oh! Wang Yao was stunned. He did not expect Chen Ying to come here for this. She was reminding him to be careful. At this time, Wang Yao remembered that when he lived in the small courtyard in Jing, Guo Zhenghe had visited him. At that time, Chen Ying seemed to be quite afraid of him. However, no matter how much he thought about it, he didn't think that he would have anything to do with the man. As Guo Zhenghe had said, he had once saved the man's life. I got it. Thank you, Wang Yao said with a smile. Are you free tonight? Yes, we're free, Chen Ying said with a smile. She and her brother came here to see a doctor and relax. Naturally, they had plenty of time. How about this? I'll treat you to dinner tonight. Ah, how can that be? It's settled then, Wang Yao said with a smile. Sigh. Wang Yao informed his family in advance, and then drove the siblings to the restaurant in the lower village. There were a few specialty dishes, wild mushrooms from the mountains, which were picked early in the summer of previous years and stored after being dried. There were also free-range chickens and fresh fish from the river. These were all original things. It's delicious. The two siblings ate happily. Even in the capital, there were some dishes that couldn't be found in ordinary restaurants. The capital had its good points, and the mountain village had its good points. At night, there were more people in the restaurant, and the courtyard was full of cars. Boss, business has been good recently. It's not bad. The main thing is that there are more people going to the hot spring at Lijiago, the boss said with a smile. Wang Yao often came to eat there, so they were very familiar with each other. So many people go to the hot spring. Sigh, it's just for the novelty. In 2 months there won't be so many people, the boss said. You can eat first. Call me if you need anything. Oh, okay. Sir, is there a hot spring nearby? Yes, it was just discovered last year. It's in the village in the east, about 10 kilometers from here. Sir, is there any interesting place in Lianshan County? Last time, when she accompanied Song Ruiping and Su Xiaoshua's mother in Lianshan County, she only went to Jilian Mountain. At that time, it was snowing. It was a kind of snowy scenery which had a special charm. To be honest, in this small Lianshan County, there are only a few interesting places. It's not like Beijing, where scenic spots and historical sites are everywhere, Wang Yao said. We went to Jilian Mountain last time. It's the most famous place in Lianshan County. This county is also named after that mountain. What about hike? It's close to the sea. You can go there to see the sea. There aren't many other famous places, Wang Yao said. On the internet, it seemed that there were many interesting places in every place. For example, there was this mountain and that cave and hike. However, when you really went there, you would find that the so-called mountain was just a few small territories, not even comparable to the few mountains in the mountain village. The cave was just a few pieces of stone or directly dug out by people. It was very boring and disappointing. We're going to go around in the next few days, Chen Ying said. That's good. Zhou's condition is very stable. It's good to go around more, Wang Yao said. Suddenly, a scolding voice came from outside. Boss, what's wrong with you? What's wrong? The boss of the restaurant hurried to the private room. They were almost done eating. They were ready to leave. Look, my son vomited after eating the dishes here. A man in his 40s shouted loudly. His family had just come back from a hot spring bath. They didn't want to go home to cook at night. They saw someone recommend this restaurant on the internet, saying that the dishes here were authentic and affordable. Therefore, they came to eat. However, his son complained of a stomachache after eating a few mouthfuls. He directly vomited. This made him very angry. It didn't matter. The people in the nearby private rooms heard this and all came out to see. The man's wife pulled her husband. Obviously, she didn't want her husband to be so noisy. However, she was pushed away by her husband. What a joke. He was not afraid of anyone. The boss was a little anxious. This was a stinky restaurant. If this spread out, who would come to eat here in the future? He didn't know what to say. In all honesty, the vegetables in his restaurant, except for the wild mushrooms that were picked and dried last year, were all fresh. Recently, there had been a lot of people eating here. The ingredients were also consumed quickly. There was no problem with the expired food at all. The ingredients here are all fresh. There is no problem with other people eating them. Is there any other problem with your son? What problem? He has been fine all day. He is quite happy. The man was more than 8 meters tall. He was big and rough. Let me tell you, it must be that the dishes here are not fresh. Let me see. At this time, Wang Yao came over. They had finished eating and were about to leave when they happened to see this scene. Who are you? I am a doctor. The man was stunned. He moved aside. After all, his son was still complaining of a stomachache. Wang Yao squatted down and looked at the vomit. He put his hand on it and carefully looked at the dishes on the table. He knew the cause of the problem. Wild mushrooms, fresh fish, eggs, spicy fried chicken, lamb tripe. There is no problem with these dishes. The problem is with your son, Wang Yao said. What? The man was unhappy. What does it have to do with my son? Are you with him? Let me finish. Wang Yao calmly said. When your son was in the hot spring today, he ate more than one cold drink, Wang Yao said. Is that so? The man was stunned. He stared at Wang Yao and did not say anything. Wang Yao could see this from the vomit. Yes, he ate 2 ice creams and drank a bottle of iced Coke, the child's mother said. Too much cold drink causes the spleen and stomach to be cold. It is easy to vomit and have diarrhea. Then, you came here to eat and ordered these dishes. Wild mushrooms, spicy chicken, and lamb tripe all have chili. Spicy things also have a strong stimulating effect on the stomach. Then, your son had such a reaction. So that is what happened. Professional. Several people who came to watch the scene from the private room next to them heard. Hey, you must be with him. The man stared. The first thing you should do now is take your son to the hospital to get medicine or a drip. Don't show off here. Wang Yao calmly said. All right, let's go. The woman picked up her son and left. The man turned around and walked out with his clothes. Get out of the way. Seeing Wang Yao blocking the way, he reached out and pushed him. With a bang, his whole body bounced out as if he had been electrocuted. With a thud, he hit the wall. Hey, what is going on? Scammer. Seeing this scene, the people next to them were stunned. Chapter 576. What the hell is going on? The man shook his head. The back of his head had hit the wall. At that moment, he blacked out. When he opened his eyes again, he saw stars and birds. Chirp, 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 chirp. He looked at the young man in front of him with a different expression. Chen Ying's eyes lit up when she saw that. Chi force was released. Innate strong wind. What the hell? Just because he touched him? As long as one was not a fool or a rash person, one would not do such a thing twice. Although he had a bad temper, he was not stupid. Under the watchful eyes of so many people, he did not dare to touch Wang Yao. Fine, you wait for me. Before he left, he did not forget to leave this classic line. Wait, you have to pay for the meal. After throwing down the money, the man left cursing. I'm sorry for the trouble. Don't worry, the quality of the food in my restaurant is guaranteed. Today's wine and dishes are all 20% off. Good. This boss knows how to do business. The guests who were watching the fun at the tables said. The disturbance was over just like that. Thank you so much. The shop owner walked Wang Yao out. Today's matter was all thanks to Wang Yao. Otherwise, it would have been difficult to clean up. You're welcome. It's just a small matter. Go back to work. Come and eat here in the future. It's free. The boss said generously. Don't say that. I won't dare to come again, Wang Yao said with a smile. Let's go. When they drove back to the mountain village, it was already dark. The only road in the village was lit up. Occasionally, they saw a few people standing outside and talking. "Thank you for your hospitality, sir." "What hospitality? It's not considered hospitality. Rest early." After parking the car, Wang Yao went back home. Chen Ying and Chen Zhou also went back to the rented house. It was almost 8 o'clock. "Sister, what happened to Sir in the hotel?" Chen Zhou was also very surprised at that time. He did not ask about it until they reached home. It can only be achieved when one's kung fu cultivation reaches a certain level. It's the release of internal qi. Very powerful. He had once heard from his sister that in addition to his amazing medical skills, this gentleman's kung fu was equally shocking. He had personally experienced his medical skills, which had allowed him to wake up from his dream state for several years. This was considered extraordinary. However, this was the first time he had seen his kung fu cultivation. It was indeed amazing. It felt like a movie. It was very exciting. There really is such a martial arts expert in this world. "Sir, your martial arts cultivation is far beyond this," Chen Ying said. That night on the Great Wall, in the midst of the wind and rain, she had seen Wang Yao's cultivation base with the power to summon the wind and summon the rain. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, she wouldn't have been able to comprehend how shocking it had been. "Sir, do you accept disciples?" "What?" Chen Ying was stunned. "I also want to learn kung fu. You know, I've liked it since I was a child," Chen Zhou said. How could she not know her brother's hobby? He had been a kung fu fan since he was a child. He liked kung fu TV series, movies, and kung fu novels. He was obsessed with them and hoped that he could learn those amazing kung fu and travel the Jianghu. When he was a child, he had pestered her to teach him kung fu. Moreover, he was indeed talented in this area. He learned things very quickly. If it weren't for his strange illness, he would have made some progress in kung fu. "Well, I'll ask Sir tomorrow," Chen Ying said. "But you have to be mentally prepared. I don't think Sir will accept disciples easily. You can learn from me first." "Okay, sister. I still remember all the things you taught me when I was a child," Chen Zhou said. "In another courtyard in the mountain village, I'm really fine. You guys can rest assured and sleep," Wen Wan said weakly to the two men in front of her. They were one old man and one young man who cared about her. Last night, because of her, they basically didn't sleep well. Today she felt much better, really much better. She didn't think it was necessary to let the two of them continue to stay up late. However, the two of them didn't listen to her at all. "Mom, don't worry. Uncle Lu and I will sleep in a while." "Yes," Professor Lu said. "Okay, I'm going to sleep." Seeing that the two of them didn't listen to her advice, she covered herself with the quilt and slowly fell asleep. The two men, one old man and one young man, quietly stayed by her side. At first, they didn't dare to speak. After seeing that Wen Wan was completely asleep, they started to talk. "I think your mother is much better today than she was 2 days ago," Professor Lu said softly. "She is much better," Fan Yuan said. "Her complexion is better, and she has the strength to speak. She can also eat something. Once a patient couldn't eat, it was a very bad sign. People were iron and rice was steel. If a patient couldn't eat, it meant that the body was purely exhausted and couldn't be effectively supplemented. A while ago, when Wan was like this. Today, she had eaten something, which was indeed a good sign. Tomorrow, we'll ask Dr. Wang to have a look." "Yes, okay." Nothing happened that night. In the morning, Chen Zhou got up very early. He was in a horse stance in the courtyard with his sister. "Good, the foundation is still there," Chen Ying said with a smile. As long as the foundation was still there, it was relatively easy to pick up the things that had been thrown away. In fact, she didn't know that her brother practiced martial arts even when he was receiving treatment. Of course, sometimes Chen Zhou didn't know because sometimes he couldn't help himself. After morning exercises and breakfast, The siblings went to Wang Yao's clinic. Someone had arrived before them. This patient was a little strange. It was spring. Although the morning was a little cold, it was not to the extent of wearing a heavy down jacket. As soon as the sun rose, Fan Yuan came out and looked outside. After seeing Wang Yao go down the hill and enter the clinic, he and Professor Lu pushed his mother into the clinic. Looking at her complexion, it was much better than the last time. Her breathing was also stronger. Her pulse was no longer the kind that could not be felt. Her seriously damaged organs were already recovering. The decoction is effective, Wang Yao thought. This was the effect of the intermittent ointment. Continue to take the medicine. A spoonful of medicine was diluted into a small bottle. Take it orally. Wang Yao wrote down the method and dosage of the medicine. After taking a small cup in the clinic, they waited for about half an hour. Take off her coat. The thick down jacket was taken off. Lie down. Wang Yao put silver needles on her body and began to treat her. His hands were very steady and slow, and he avoided the sensitive acupoints where he inserted the needles. The purpose of his acupuncture was to promote the body's absorption of the medicine and slightly accelerate the circulation of qi and blood. Okay, help her up. Come back the next day. Okay. After paying, Professor Lu and the young man left with Wenwan. What's the matter? Chen Ying then told them the purpose of their visit. Do you want to learn Kung Fu? Yes, please complete it first, Chen Zhou said. Haven't you given up your martial arts dream? Wang Yao said. When he first met Chen Zhou in Jing, his illness was acting up. He heard some things from Chen Zhou, such as a sword from the west and the 42 forms of the sword. No, never, Chen Zhou said. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not taking any apprentices for the time being, Wang Yao said with a smile. Chen Zhou's eyes were a little dim. I see. Sorry to bother you. Fortunately, he was already mentally prepared. It's okay. In fact, your sister's kung fu is not bad. You can learn from her first. Okay. Chen Zhou and Chen Zhou left. After leaving the clinic, Chen Ying advised, Don't be discouraged. It's okay, sister. Chen Zhou smiled. I'll learn from you first, just like before. Okay. In the morning, the sun was bright and the weather was very warm. It was a good time to go out for a walk. At about 10:30 a.m., another patient came to the clinic. He was also from a nearby village. He had a common headache. Wang Yao gave him a massage and left. When Wang Yao was about to drink water, the door outside opened. A person hurried in. After seeing the person, Wang Yao stood up and asked, Uncle Fengming, what's the matter? Yao, a person died on Nanshan Hill. What? Wang Yao was shocked. Chapter 577. Please sit down and take your time. Wang Yao made him a cup of tea. Who died? What is the cause of death? Li Zulai in the east of the village, Wang Fengming said. He died at the junction of Dongshan Mountain and Nanshan Mountain. I don't know the specific cause yet. Maybe he was scared. He had heart disease. Scared? Wang Yao asked. The weather has been warm recently. Some people in the village went up the mountain to gather grass. A few people have seen snakes on Nanshan Mountain. One of them was a black snake. It was several meters long. You have been on the mountain for a long time. Have you seen it? Wang Fengming asked. Xiaohei. As soon as he said that, he knew that it was that black snake. I know about the snake. In fact, I was the one who saved the snake. Wang Yao didn't hide anything from this kind and honest elder and told him directly. This is a bit troublesome, Wang Fengming said. What's wrong, uncle? Some people in the village said you raised snakes on Nanshan Mountain. Li Zulai was scared to death by a snake. This was a bit troublesome. According to this, Li Zulai's death had a lot to do with him. It was like when you were bitten by a dog, the first thing you thought of was whose dog it was. You wanted to find the owner of the dog instead of biting it back. There is more than one snake on Nanshan Mountain, Wang Fengming said. More than one, Wang Yao said. Hiss, I often see one recently. Is that black snake? Wang Yao also found that the black snake was very intelligent. It knew what he meant and became a guard of Nanshan Mountain. It patrolled the mountain with the dog day and night. People were generally afraid of snakes, especially big snakes. Thank you for coming to remind me, Wang Yao said. Hey, we are family. Don't mention it, Wang Fengming said. He had been thinking about Wang Yao's good point. If there is nothing else, I will go back first. Uncle, have you sold your old house? Wang Fengming asked. I sold it to buy a new house for my son. Your aunt and I live in the village. It is good, Wang Fengming said. Okay. Wang Yao walked him out of the door before returning to the clinic. In the mountain village, death was a big deal. In this small mountain village, the surname Wang was the main surname. Other than that, there were also surnames Chen and Li. Basically, people with the same surname were related and could be talked about. Soon, the news of the old man's death spread in a certain area. At least, during lunch, Zhang Xiuying mentioned this to Wang Yao. Sigh, I'm getting old and my heart isn't good. Why would I go up the mountain and gather grass? Why did he have to go to Nanshan Hill of all places? The last sentence was the main point. After all, he was biased towards his son. He had also heard the rumors in the village. Yao, are there really snakes on the mountain? Yes, and I am very familiar with one of them, Wang Yao said with a smile. What he said was very interesting. Very familiar with you? How familiar? I once saved a black snake. It was very intelligent, Wang Yao said. There really is one. Wang Fenghua didn't say anything. He just lowered his head and ate. After lunch, he asked, Does the snake bite people? As long as you don't hurt it, it won't bite people, Wang Yao said. It's the same as Sanxian. Sigh, what if it scares people again? Zhang Xiuying was worried. That's the effect I want, Wang Yao said softly. What? His parents were shocked. Dad, Mom, I don't want outsiders to get close to Nanshan Hill. You also know that there are many secrets on Nanshan Hill that can't be known by outsiders, Wang Yao said. On Nanshan Hill, there were too many shocking things. The spirit-gathering battle array, the licorice roots in the herbal field, and the wonderful feeling of comfort. Of course, I don't want people to die. It's unexpected. Under the shocked and worried gaze of his parents, Wang Yao calmly said, San Xian, De Ying, and the black snake are my guardians. There was silence. Zhang Xiuying looked at her son. Wang Fenghua smoked silently. There will be other people on the hill, Zhang Xiuying whispered. San Xian and Xiaohe will patrol the hill. I've arranged some things on the hill, Wang Yao said. The first thing to do was to make the people in the village afraid of the hill. Fear was contagious. If they were afraid, they wouldn't go up the hill. The death of the old man was an accident, but it would also have an unexpected effect. Sigh. Zhang Xiuying sighed. Dad, Mom, you don't have to worry too much. It's good that you know what you're doing, Wang Fenghua said. After lunch, Wang Yao returned to the clinic. After taking Wang Yao away, Zhang Xiuying came to her husband and asked worriedly, Do you think our son has changed? Yes, he has changed, Wang Fenghua said. This hill belongs to the village. We need to farm, graze animals, and collect grass. Zhang Xiuying said these things were indispensable to the villagers' lives. Half of the houses in the village have been sold, Wang Fenghua said. Many people will move out by then. Besides, half of Dongshan Mountain and Xishan Mountain have been contracted by others. There is a large area under the hill. Between the east and west hills was a wide and long open space. The main cultivated land in the village was there. The cultivated land on the hill was mainly concentrated in the north part of Dongshan Mountain and Xishan Mountain near the village. Because Nanshan Mountain was far away, it would take at least an hour to go back and forth from the village. It was not convenient to get water, and agricultural equipment could not be driven up there. Except for grazing, there was no cultivated land. The conversation between the couple soon ended because there were guests. They were the villagers. At about 1 p.m., the siblings were on Shishan Mountain. Don't go any further. Looking at the rocks in front of her, Chen-Ing had a very bad feeling. The rocks blocked the mountain road to the south. This is arranged by someone, she said with certainty. Sir? Chen-Zhou asked. Most likely, he doesn't want anyone to go forward, Chen-Ing said. The place where the two of them were was at the border of Shishan Mountain and Nanshan Mountain. In fact, the mountains were connected. There was no obvious boundary. In front of them was the incomplete stone battle array set by Wang Yao. Last time, it had almost trapped two people who had mistakenly entered it. Shall we go back? The siblings turned around and went back. Somewhere on Shishan Mountain. Bah! A sheep went up the mountain for some reason. It sniffed the ground as it walked. A pit was in front of it. The flat ground had sunk. The soil was a strange black and gray. In the pit there was a withered plant. Bah! This dumb sheep stood at the edge of the pit. Crash! The soil at the edge of the pit was not solid to begin with, so it collapsed under the sheep's stomp. Then, the sheep fell into the pit, causing dust to fly everywhere. The sheep didn't fall. It just shook its head a few times. It seemed to be thinking about what had just happened. It wanted to jump up, but it didn't succeed after several attempts. It was very strange. The sheep, which was good at moving on the mountain, couldn't climb up. It felt strange no matter how it looked at it. It also felt strange, so it kept shaking its head. Finally, it climbed up. In the village, there was a family. Lao Wang, you only know how to drink. The sheep in our house is gone. A middle-aged woman shouted into the house. The pen was still there, but the sheep inside was nowhere to be found. There was a gap in the door. Oh no! A man rushed out of the house. He still smelled of alcohol. A sheep was worth hundreds of yuan. At this time, the sky had already darkened. This damn sheep! The man was looking for the sheep in the nearby mountains. He cursed in a low voice. Bah! He heard the sound of the sheep. Following the sound, he found the sheep. It was gnawing on a tree. You silly sheep! He went forward and grabbed the sheep's ear. He slapped it twice. Bah! The sheep looked at him innocently. Let's go home. By the time he returned home with the goat, the sky had already turned completely dark. After dinner, Wang Yao went up the hill early. San Xian, where is Blackie? After entering the herbal field, Wang Yao called San Xian. After a while, the black snake appeared in front of him. Blackie, are there other snakes on the mountain? Although the black snake was intelligent, it was not human. It was far less intelligent than San Xian. Naturally, it didn't really understand what Wang Yao meant. Forget it, you can go. He patted the snake's head. The black snake left again. San Xian, are there other snakes on the mountain besides Blackie? Woof. San Xian responded. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.